The views and opinions expressed by the On the Spot with David Rodgers show are solely based on the show's host, guests, and viewers. We are solely responsible for all show content in its entirety and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of any sponsors in any way. These broadcasts are presented and made public by the On the Spot with David Rodgers team in the hope that it'll be entertaining and informative to our viewers and listening audience.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's 7 o'clock and time for On the Spot with David Rodgers. And now, here he is, Mr. Friday Night, the show pony himself, the man, the dream, the legendary David Rodgers.
Good evening, folks, and welcome to On the Spot with David Rodgers. I am Mr. Friday Night and the show pony himself, David Rodgers, alongside the missing Byron Bagwell. He had something going on tonight, but he told me to tell you that he will be here on the show next Tuesday night. So God bless him and whatever he's doing. Dave, we lost signal on that TV, brother. On this one right here, baby. I think you bumped it just a tad.
I talked to Byron.
You talked to Byron?
I got him on a mission tonight. He's on assignment.
Oh, he's on assignment.
On the State of the Union address.
All right. Hey, that's where he's at. And along with Super Dave Holland, the dancing destroyer himself, and Mr. Austin Stevens, and my special co-host, look at here, our very own Bradford County Sheriff Gordon Smith. Say hello to everybody, Gordon.
Good afternoon, Bradford County. It is always better in Bradford.
Hey, I've heard that maybe once or twice.
There you go.
Tonight's show is sponsored by Mitchell Gunner Racing, and the On the Spot Motorsports media page. Tune in on Thursdays to hear the latest from the guru of motorsports, Mitchell Gunner. And by the On the Spot Lawn Care, spring is coming. Now's the time to plan who takes care of your lawn. Let the red, white, and blue take care of your green. You can call me at 904-966-1633. Hit us on the Spot Lawn Maintenance Facebook page, or you can even email the show, and we'll be able to pick it up from there. Let's get the show started as we always do with our prayer, our pledge, and our patriotic quote of the night. And I'm going to ask our very own esteemed Sheriff Gordon Smith, if he'd lead us in prayer tonight.
Absolutely. Heavenly Father, we come for you this afternoon to say nothing but to ask you and thank you and praise you for your grace and your mercy. We owe you so much thanks in our country and allowing us to live in the greatest country in the world. No matter what's going on, no matter what distracts us, we always got to be reminded that you are in total control. And we are blessed because of you, and only because of you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Let us stand for our pledge. And I'm going to ask Mr. Austin Stevens, if he would, to lead us in our pledge.
It would be my honor. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Welcome into the show. My name is David Rodgers, your creator and host of On the Spot with David Rodgers. Sitting in for the missing Byron Bagwell tonight is our very own Sheriff Gordon Smith, our weather guru back here, our YouTube guy, Mr. Austin Stevens. He's in the house tonight. The dancing destroyer, Super Dave Holland, is with us. And David, I had a request last week and at the chamber, which me and Gordon will be talking about here in just a little bit, for you to do the Cupid Shuffle. Well, here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't get a chance to show David this Cupid Shuffle. So I tell you what, we'll table that off till next week. How about that?
Thank you.
Well, and I'll show you how to do that because they want to see you do it, David.
I want to see me do it.
No, I want to see you do it too. All right, we have a patriotic quote of the night, and here it is for you guys. To argue with a person who renounced the use of reason is like administering medicine to the dead. To argue with a person who renounced the use of reason is like administering medicine to the dead. It is a founding father. He was deeply involved per se in the Declaration of Independence. He helped with the USS Constitution. He's also a writer. I'm going to let y'all take a guess. And I'll show you how to do that because they want
You lost me. I have no idea.
Just take a stab.
Abraham Lincoln.
Nice guess. What do you say there, Austin?
Good old George Washington.
Being a founding father and being kind of a writer, and that makes me think about Benjamin Franklin.
Does it?
That was another one.
Well, hey, all those were good guesses, but you know what? That's actually Thomas Paine.
Thomas Paine.
Yeah, Thomas Paine. Yep,
He gets left out a
instrumental.
lot, and he was very instrumental in most things done.
Yes, he was. He was very instrumental. Him and Ben Franklin and Hancock and all those were a very tight group, and he was instrumental, like Gordon said, in doing several things there. So, again, welcome in On the Spot with David Rodgers. I got the sheriff right here beside me. He's co-hosting tonight. We're going to have Joel Norman coming in.
Yeah.
He helped me DJ the chamber banquet. We do several things together. He's actually going to come in and tell us what he does for a living and also what he does on the side. He's going to play a couple of little tunes.
I'm in.
I'm in. Yeah. Hey, so when he gets here, we'll get to that as well. Here is Gordon Smith, like I said, the sheriff, who knows what's going on in Bradford County and the surrounding areas. Anything that you would like to ask him, please reach out on Facebook. And hey, reach out to this live. He'll be glad to answer them for you. Hey, don't go anywhere, because here comes the roundtable after this commercial break.
Hey Tornado fans, this is Kurt Miracle of Miracle Automotive and Towing, proud sponsors of Tornado Football. I want to welcome you to beautiful Stark, Florida and David Hurst Stadium, and thank you for letting us be a part of this community. We're here for more than your automotive and towing needs. We're here to be part of Tornado Country. Go Big Red!
Here's the roundtable. We go around the region, around the table with the latest news and notes. Gordon, you're going to help me read some of this. How about that? All right. What do we have, David? Brought to you by Harry Business in the Deerfoot Plaza, home of the $10 haircut. Call Dave and Company at 904-964-3338. Open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5. All you got to do is walk up in there, ask the receptionist, hey, can I get a haircut today? She's going to say yes. And she's going to say, which stylist would you like?
Exactly.
And most of them pick Dave Holland. A lot of them.
Yeah.
And Dave will be more than glad to cut your hair. But Dave, what if you're not there? Just call you, right?
Call.
Just call. You'll come back and do their hair.
Yeah.
You've done it many a times.
100 times.
Of course you have. All right, Gordon, I'm going to let you read the first.
A crash early this morning in Stark resulted in a fire that destroyed a Jeep, but no serious injuries were reported. Around 6:30 this morning, a semi-truck crashed into a Jeep on Brownlee Street in front of Pecan Tree Apartments. The road was closed for some time while Stark firefighters extinguished the blaze. The crash investigation is still continuing.
How about that? Over to Putnam County, where deputies arrested a 43-year-old Matthew Thomas for breaking into a man's car and stabbing him in Interlochen. Good grief. PCSO says a deputy responded to State Road 20 and County Road 315 after receiving a call of two men fighting. They discovered one man stabbed and the suspect ran off, but was caught a short time later. The victim was taken to a local hospital for treatment.
A reminder that Call Street, State Road 230, going east between US 301 and St. Clair Street, remains closed, as I keep constantly getting reminded trying to go home. As crews continue the repaving project, the work crews are laying down the decorative concrete in the intersection, and the roadway is expected to be reopened soon, depending on weather.
All right, while we're right there, Gordon, you want to talk about that a little bit? Do you know
I do.
what's,
It is. They're redoing a lot of the downtown Call Street area, resurfacing, but they're also redoing the center, the intersections right there at Walnut. And also, they're doing it right there at Thompson Street. Remember the old brick and all there? They're pulling all that up. They're totally redoing that as they're doing the repavement job, doing some entrance like in the Williams Jewelry, the sidewalk there was busted up, making that a turn in. They're really making it's inconvenient right now, but it's like any of those road projects. When they're done, you're so thankful.
It's kind of interesting. I was watching them put that together, and they kind of double up on that 2 or 3 layers in there when they're putting.
You see how deep it is?
Yeah.
They keep it from that wearing, or as you see in a lot of places, intersections, you get that wallering out on the road where the ruts go, and you pull up to an intersection, heavy trucks stopping and going, and the braking and stuff. But they're really doing that well. It's expensive, and they're doing it, but it's also good in conjunction with the overpass. If you look at what they're doing at the overpass, with the matching brick and all, they're putting in some of the inlays there as they're doing sidewalks now and all the underneath as they're doing the bridge.
Right.
And hopefully working, I've had a few ideas, and working with some of the city commissioners and talking with some of the others, it'd be nice to light that overpass up like you see the bridges in Jacksonville.
Well, boy, wouldn't that
some
be
LED
nice?
lights or something with the
man.
downtown park there when they have music playing.
Right.
We can light it up the different colors for holidays. Light it up red, white, and blue. We want to light it up red, white, and blue. If it's Thanksgiving, maybe red. I don't know. The different colors. You can have Easter, maybe pink,
sure.
whatever it is, colored rainbow, whatever it is. With the LED, it's rather inexpensive now to be able to do that.
Right.
So I'm hoping we can get some momentum going with some ideas that you travel to all the other cities, and Stark's just as important or more important to me, I'll be honest with you, as the other places. But it's something that can be relatively inexpensive and can add some ambiance. Is that a big word? That's a big word for old Bradford County.
Yeah, it is.
To our downtown area and light it up, because I think when they're done with that, it's really going to give some life to that downtown area that we sorely need.
All right, so the bricks off of Walnut Street, what are they going to do with them?
They've taken a bunch. I know some people have gone by.
They've taken a bunch.
There's some historical. A lot of them were made of
That's what
Georgia
I'm
and
saying,
stuff,
yeah.
and they were laid there. They dug up someone that had been around for a long time, and people were interested in it. I'm not sure. I did not inquire as to what they were going to do with the rest of them.
Right.
There may be one in my office. I'm not sure how I got there. I think one of the inmates actually pinned it up.
Just actually picked it up, said to return it to you.
Didn't want to get contraband with the inmates, so But no, I mean seriously, it's an exciting time for downtown.
Yeah.
Those businesses that are there. Several of them have been there a long time.
Right.
And we wanted to be there and make that even nicer for a downtown. Not the obvious, but an enjoyment for everybody is what I'm trying to say. That I'm not sure of the word, but when you come down there, you want to bring people that come to town to visit you.
Yes.
You want to take them to downtown. You got some great restaurants.
Yes.
The Tony and Al's, the Chrissy's, the movie theater. We got one of the kind of movie theaters that nobody else has.
Nobody.
And you can't go to a movie theater cheaper anywhere else than what Justin was doing, living on his daddy's name. The jewelry store. We got all those things downtown now. It's a great walking experience. The Telegraph. You want to find out about history, all those type things. So it's bringing some. You'll be glad to take your friends and family down there and show it off.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And I agree with you, Gordon. We talk about this quite a bit about how Stark has really elevated itself on the map. Not only since you've been sheriff, but, I think it's been growing in the process the whole time. And for somebody like you that really cares about this community, cares about the people, just cares, period, I can feel it. I can see it. I've been around this community since 2000. And even a little before then, but really got involved in the early 2000s. My oldest daughter was going to school here. And, man,
it's come a long way. We was worried about the bypass, and I talked to a business owner that said when it first came, they lost 20% right off the bat.
Right.
But they've now got that back. It's like anything. State Road 16, where the accident was at this morning, created quite a congestion because in the morning and in the afternoon, for a couple hours in the morning, a couple hours in the afternoon, some of the heaviest traffic is down State Road 16 coming from Middleburg, Jacksonville area.
It is.
And they're jumping on the 301 and going south to the bypass, or they're going straight across out to the bypass and going south for work related. So that's really become busy. Now you turn north to go toward the courthouse. Some days you're lucky to pass 2 or 3 cars. But in time it will grow too to meet for those type of businesses that will be able to move out there and experience that. But there's a lot of excitement coming to our beautiful city of Stark. There's excitement coming to Lawdy, the Hampton area. There's a lot of people looking. With the 911 business we have of doing 911 addressing and those type things.
Right.
Even through the tough times here, we still got things happening. So there's a lot of excitement there.
Yeah, and I want to talk to you a little bit later on as we get to the actual roundtable part of the show, just about that growth and some of the things that we're all excited about. I know you're a big sports guy. You know sports like the back of your hand, and our tornadoes, all sports tornado-wise. So like you said, some of the things that are coming into downtown, just some of the things that are coming into the community, and how it's just elevating the whole name. And we're trying to do our little bit part here. And I know you've been on our show 2 or 3 times, and we enjoy it each and every time that you come on. And because you've always got a lot of in-depth knowledge of things that are going on. And I do want to talk to you a little bit about that as we continue on. We mentioned the Powerball drawing last week, and finally a lucky winner in Washington State. Hey, that's Gordon's other address.
Washington State. Lord have mercy. I'm telling you, most of those are going to go to taxes out there.
Yeah, it is. We'll take home the 9th largest jackpot in U.S. history, a Powerball prize worth more than $750 million. There were also 5 $1 million winners in Michigan and New York and a $2 million winner in Texas. I myself didn't win, Gordon, and I will be going back to work tomorrow.
Same as you, brother. I'll be right there, working man.
Hey, what's the old saying? Hey, what's the old saying? I work for you. What is your motto?
When you call, I'm working for you.
That's it. There you go. David, what's the next thing there? Finally, it's time for the recall recap featuring product recalls from the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. This week, Gordon, we have Vienna sausage. Are you kidding me? One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Honda SUVs and children's robes. How about it, buddy? You want to take that next one right there?
Yeah. Oh, you gave me the big one.
Conagra.
Yeah, Conagra. That's the recall of more than 2.5 million pounds of canned meat and poultry products, including cans of Armour Star Vienna sausage. Now that breaks my heart.
Yeah, it breaks mine
I
too.
grew up on those things.
Yeah, me too.
Every hunting season, throw them in there. The products are being recalled because of an issue in the packaging that could cause the food to be contaminated, but not show signs that it's unsafe to eat.
Oh,
That's
man.
scary. I mean,
It is scary.
If it's 1 or 2 cans, they got to recall them all.
All right, well, look at here. Honda's recalling roughly 115,000 of its Fit hatchbacks and HRV compact SUVs over an issue with the rear-view camera image. The image may not display when the engine started with a key. Owners can contact their Honda dealership for repair, and you'll also be able to find that recall on a Google or Facebook. It's probably everywhere, really, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
What you got there?
Lastly, children's robes sold exclusively on Amazon are being recalled because to meet the federal flammability standards for children's sleepwear, catching fire very easily and posing a risk of burn injuries to children.
Wow.
Not good, and kids are the most likely going to wind up putting it near a hot lamp, something warm.
Yeah.
But it is. I'm scared. Every year we burn the Christmas tree, and everybody talks about that. And if you've ever watched one burn or flew one to burn, I remember my son when he was young. He had to light a fire, so I took him out there and I said, "Here." He took one of those long lighters. He lit it, and it scared him so bad he's never asked to burn another one.
I bet.
Those things are like that.
These children's clothes. I mean, with today's technology, there's no reason for them to be able to burn like that.
No, you're exactly right. These products, plus other recalls, can be found on the CPSC and FDA websites. You can Google FDA recall or consumer recall to get the complete list, and we'll feature recalls each week that could pose a threat to you and your family. All right, Dave, we've got the weather coming up, and guess who's in the house to give it? That would be our very own esteemed. And did you know? He is the on-the-spot crew member of the month.
All right. Good job, man. I'm telling you, he's always hustling. He's always involved in something.
Yes, he is. That's Mr. Austin Stevens.
In the last 24 hours, I only got 3 hours of sleep.
Oh, boy.
So much. Because I'm working on technical stuff for David's show behind closed doors. We're moving along. David, how do you like a high of near 80 tomorrow?
Whoa, I like it. Yeah, it's a little change. Yeah, I'll take it.
What about Thursday, a high near 85?
Ooh.
Speedo time.
Speedo. Yeah, you get to wear your Speedos. Speaking of Speedos, we'll talk about that at the chamber.
We don't talk about that.
Oh, well, Gordon almost had to wear some, or he may have to wear some. We'll find out here in a minute.
Well, how do you like a nighttime low of 55?
That ain't too bad. That's
what about Thursday night? A 40% chance of showers and thunderstorms with a low of 61.
Gordon, what do you think? Can we use the rain?
We need rain. We need a little rain right now.
Yeah, we do.
And what about Friday with a 70% chance of showers and thunderstorms, possibly severe, hopefully not.
Okay.
With a high of 80.
Hey, I'll take that.
I
don't like the severe part, but I don't.
Hey, we don't get tornadoes. Knock on wood.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
But how do you like a low of 50 that night? Coming up to Saturday morning.
Oh, my goodness. Saturday. So we're going to go from 80 to 59? Is that what you're telling me?
From 80 to 50. I didn't
50.
say 50. A low of 50 Saturday morning at 6 a.m.
Oh, boy.
What's the weather for like Saturday afternoon?
A high of 61 and a low of 38.
Oh. So we're going back into
But this is gonna be like the last cool snap. it's going to warm right back up by next week, back to the 80s.
Welcome to Florida.
Welcome to Florida. I do want to ask you about the pollen count. I had actually
My allergies are
brunch
flaring.
with,
Bad.
yes.
I can tell you bad.
Yeah, you get it.
I'm
quite
not a
bit.
weatherman. Bad.
Yeah, you can see it on your cars and everything else. I can tell you right now, I had lunch with Shirley and Donnie Bagwell on Sunday morning after the chamber. And Donnie, you can hear him wheezing. You know what I mean? He
My
said,
daughter
"Is this
and my wife,
daggum pollen? They got it too."
My daughter and wife, they suffer from allergies. My daughter probably worse
too.
than anybody
I
in her
do.
family.
Our pool float has pollen on it. One of the pool floats out on our pool deck.
What kind of? It's pretty high right now, isn't it?
No, yeah. I would say it's around like a 5.
5.
5.
Okay.
I haven't really looked at it. We're not fully into pollen season.
Yep.
It is 2 weeks early.
Okay.
It's 2 weeks early?
It's 2 weeks early. Boy, I can't tell it. Can you? Shoot, man, your car was probably covered with it too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I get it bad too. So
The sycamore trees on our property don't start blooming until like March 10th. They're blooming now.
all right, can I ask a favor of you? Next week, can you give us a pollen count? Just see where we're at.
10-4.
All right, that sounds good to me. What else we got?
Weather for the Super Bowl. What is it?
Oh yeah, how about that?
I have 63.
I have
63.
So Super Bowl time will be back down.
No rain.
Oh,
rain.
well, that's even better. Are you
That's
going?
it,
Are you
yeah.
going to the Super Bowl party?
Oh yeah.
Are you?
Oh,
We'll be
yeah,
there.
man.
Me and Gold. We'll talk about that a little bit
I
too.
picked the wife up from the airport at 10:30, but yeah.
Eh, you'll be there. You'll be there in time for
According to how
that.
good the game gets, I might be a little late.
Okay.
Make her set it.
Yeah, there you go.
Well,
Well, I'm going to
I'm
ask this
telling my
prediction
daughter.
here a little bit anyway.
You'll be paying for a cab.
Now, the groundhog did see his shadow.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad you said that. Yes. So what does that mean? Tell everybody what that means, Austin.
When you come from forecasting weather, it does not mean anything. But for a hobby up in Pennsylvania, because it's dreary, it's dark, it's winter.
Yeah.
It means that there's supposed to be 6 more weeks of winter.
Oh, boy.
Well, I talked to what's his name? I can't even pronounce it.
Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah, I talked to his ex-wife. She said he lies a lot.
Oh!
That's all I'm saying.
So why
Dude, I can't believe he knows that. I'm just saying.
I
She
can.
said he lies.
Hey, Gordon. Something you know that you could say in law. I can neither confirm or deny.
There you go.
There you go. So anyway, moving on. Joel Norman's fixing to join us here in the studio here in just a few minutes. Hey, Thursday night team trivia at the Downtown Grill in starts at 7:30. I'm your host there each and every Thursday night at the Downtown Grill. Come on over. We have great fun. And I tell you, I had 8 teams last week, Gordon. Really a fun time. We had to move it into the dining room area right now because the Downtown Grill, the way it's set up. You got those columns. It's hard to see all the TV and all that. So we're trying to get trivia on all the TVs.
Oh, good.
So once we do that, you can sit anywhere in there that you want, and you'll be able to see the trivia questions. So me and Chrissy's really working on that. So I didn't have a word for you, did I? I did not have and the answer is, so guess what? They don't get one this week.
There you go.
How about that? So, hey, it'll just be a question in there.
Good. I've
And
got
the-
a good word.
Do you? What is it?
Silence.
Silence?
is golden.
Hey, I could go Silence of the Lambs. I could do anything. Hey. So, but anyway, no, and the answer is this week. And also, did you hear this? Did you hear that Jerry Feltner is going to be the trivia host at Fun Point on Wednesday night?
I'm just going to go for the entertainment. Jerry can't even
I know, that's what I'm saying. He can't even spell trivia, so what is he doing? But anyway, Michael Heater's got some business he's got to attend to. A couple of things that have been happening to him over the last couple of weeks.
had
And
some,
definitely prayers and thoughts go out to him and his family and everybody that's involved with those couple of things that are going on. But Jerry Feltner will be hosting trivia at Fun Point, David, on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. So that'll be tomorrow night. I hope you guys are in for entertainment. Gordon said he's just going to drop by and just see what the heck's going on. You may have to run out the door.
That ought to be exciting.
Yeah, that ought to be exciting. So anyway, now everyone's favorite segment that brings back a little history, brought to you by our great media partners, WEAG Eagle Country 106.3 FM, Chuck and Mary Kramer and Lynn Bellis, my boss and Byron's boss on Friday nights as we do tornado football and some of the other things that I'm involved with, as well as the All Tornado Sports Report and Update and things like that that I do, and some commercials that we do. And David, who else? There we go. Dave. And the Bradford County Telegraph and their great staff, including owner John Miller, editor-in-chief Mark Crawford, the ad guru John Ryan Tillman himself, and look at there. And, of course, Mr. Photogenic himself, Cliff Smelly.
That's right.
Yeah, here's what's the date. And these are the headlines from the Bradford Telegraph during the first week of February. And what year? 3 jailed for 2 armed robberies in Stark. 2 caught in theft from the church. And First Lady Scott reads with Stark students.
2022.
Gordon, was that the first week of February of 2014, 2016, or 2018? We're going to give you another hint here. 3 jailed for 2 armed robberies in Stark. 2 caught in theft from the church. First Lady Scott reads with Stark students. Was that the first week of February of 2014, 2016, or 2018? We're going to go give you a couple of hints here, and Gordon probably knows this answer already right here. Stark police put 3 men behind bars last week for 2 separate armed robberies in January. You can read the second one.
Keel Smith and Darrell Fowler were arrested following the theft of money from the Church of the Holy Missions of Jesus Christ in Stark.
Are you kidding me? Robbed from the church.
Yeah, 2 Stark schools were among 6 statewide visited by Florida First Lady Ann Scott as part of her Literacy Changes Our World tour.
All right. So there you go. You got your little bit of hint there, so we're going to go back to the topics. David, go back to the topics there. There you go. 3 jailed for 2 armed robberies in Stark. 2 caught in theft from the church. And First Lady Scott reads with Stark students. Was that February, the first week of February 2014, 2016, or 2018? This is where you play, ladies and gentlemen. You have a chance to win a $25 gift card from the Downtown Grill. All you got to do is guess the correct date. We put you in a pot for next month's drawing, and if you are the lucky one that gets pulled from that pot, Joel, guess what? You get a $25 gift card from the Downtown Grill. Spend it any way you want.
Sounds wonderful.
You can go on a Monday. You can go on a Tuesday. You can go on a Wednesday. You can go trivia night on Thursday. You can go Friday. You can go Saturday. Dave, you can go Sunday. Use it anytime you want. How about that?
6 days.
And no date on it. Pretty much 7 if you want it, because they're open a little bit on Sunday, right? Aren't they open till about 3 o'clock?
They
on
are.
Sunday?
After
So
church,
yeah,
we're there,
after
yeah.
church.
The fried chicken.
Fried chicken. Some of the best, by the way, around. Them and Granny's. I'll tell you. All you can eat chicken at Granny's and the Downtown Grill. So, hey, here we go. This is where you guess, guys. We have a winner too, David. We went on ahead and pulled that winner. So I'm going to leave that until we get everybody's guesses. So here we go. We're going to get some comments. Here we go. Dwight Allen said, Gordon Smith, that is cruel and unusual punishment to make Byron Bagwell watch Creepy Joe.
Oh, he's the best insight. He's got, he's working on rebuttal for us for on the spot.
Okay.
We're going to give the post, on the spot. They're trying to kick the poor Republican guy out for lying. I'm thinking, kick the president out too.
Get the president out. There you go.
My mama said you go to the same place for lying as you do stealing.
There you go. That's
Here in
it.
Washington, D.C.
Speaking of that, Byron Bagwell said...
Oh, no.
I mean, that's what my mama said. It had to be true.
Speaking of that, Byron Bagwell said... Byron Bagwell said he seen you. I know. Hey, I loved her. I love Lester too.
She was honest.
Yeah, she was honest. Yeah, you're right about that. Hey, but I did hear Byron Bagwell say that he seen you yesterday.
He did.
Yep, sitting at the liar's table.
Well, I'm the mediator.
Oh, you're the moderator.
Yeah, that's my
Okay.
intelligence briefings before I go to work.
Okay.
You got former elected officials. You got the people who are in the know. Mm-hmm. And look here, they've lived to get out old by not being stupid. So you learn to listen. and the best thing you know is it don't have to be true to be good.
That is very true.
Men folk don't gossip.
That's right. Yeah. If I start naming all the people that were there, yeah.
I need
Yeah.
a T-shirt that says that.
Yeah, boy, you ain't kidding. Shirley Bagwell says, "Good evening, gentlemen." Good evening, Miss Shirley Bagwell.
Amen. Good
Dwight
good
Allen
afternoon.
guessed Franklin. That's not a bad guess.
Yeah.
Let's see. Michelle Luke Morgan. Trump will be doing a play-by-play of Brandon's State of the Union on the Truth app at 9 p.m.
What's the truth at?
What is the Truth app, Michelle?
That is.
What is that?
Oh, that's his app. I got it.
Oh, that's that. Is that?
That is Trump's equivalent
Yeah.
to Twitter.
Oh, okay. Jimmy Langley, too funny, but I just sent you a PM. I guess he's talking to me. I'll check that out here shortly, Jimmy Langley. Hey, guys, hope everyone is well. Yes, sir, I hope you're well. You should be where you're living at. Lives in Nassau, Bahamas.
Tough life.
Tough life, isn't it?
Nassau, Bahamas.
Yeah.
I bet he's got his Speedos on this time of year.
Oh, he probably does. Yeah, I'm
Hey,
sure.
hey, it's only a
Yeah.
it's only a tough life when a hurricane shows up. Otherwise,
That's true.
I know he comes home every once in a while to Lake City, and he's got dealings around here. He's got family around here. But I can tell you, hey, it must be a hard life, like Gordon said, in Nassau, Bahamas.
Everybody's guessing the same here.
I just hope these out-of-towners don't move here and try to make us like the place they left it. That's Dwight Allen. What you
You
said
know,
earlier.
and I got to say, when you come here, assimilate with us. I mean, you come here for a reason. You're fleeing. Most people are fleeing. Not everybody. There's some people that move here for different reasons, but for the most part, if they give here and give us a chance, they'll want to be like us. I promise you. You won't find a more loving, caring community, neighborly. I mean, we all have our. When I sat down with 66 other sheriffs in this state,
Right.
I can't ever wait to get home because I'm the most blessed sheriff there is. When you hear all the issues and problems going on,
Right.
Bradford County as a whole is a great community, and people have come here as yourself,
Yep.
and assimilated with not always our way of life, but enjoying what we enjoy, and that's my goal as the sheriff is always protect those freedoms and rights that we've come so well to enjoy, and that is my job is to serve first. And then protect those people that are here. And it doesn't matter if you live here, you're traversing through here, you visit here, whatever it may be. It is my job and the men and women of the sheriff's office to do everything we can to keep you safe. And that's what it's all about, where you get out of your car and you feel safe. People that to this day, I know my neighbors don't lock doors. I mean, I don't. I'm not going to live in that type of fear. So
No.
Unfortunately, I have to lock my doors.
You live in Clay County.
Well, not only that, we just had a homicide in Keystone Heights on
Yes, we
Saturday.
did.
Yeah, and those are a rare thing. Those domestics are really, really tough in those type issues, and those are
Yeah.
things that we can't control.
No.
No.
Yeah,
You
and we
can't.
can't control spontaneous things that just happen. And people that traverse through here, a lot of our major crimes come from people that don't belong to this community, and we have to deal with that. And one is a lot of times we can't do anything about it happening. We try.
Right.
Crime prevention 101 and all those type things. But when it happens, is what do we do about it?
Right.
What do we do to solve it? What do we make sure that we get help to the victims, whether it be fire rescue, whether it be law enforcement, but also bring closure in catching the person that's responsible for committing that crime against someone within our community. And I'm telling you, Bradford County, when you look across the state, you know what? We're not the wealthiest county,
No, we're not.
but you won't find a harder working class bunch of people in Bradford County. We got our people that don't want to work. Yes, we got our, and I've got family, and we all do. I got some down at the Gray Bar Motel. I mean, it's just what it is. But all in all, but I'll tell you this: in our jail, 85% of the people that are there probably aren't bad people, but they make bad decisions. Now there are some evil people, and we deal with them every day and
Yes,
keep them
you do.
incarcerated and face their day in court. But a lot of those people are, like I say, we see them regularly. It's just they can't. You wonder how they do so wonderful in jail, but then they get out and they keep making poor decisions, and it doesn't affect just them. It affects those that love them.
Yeah, and I want to back up something that you said earlier in the conversation about being a part of Bradford County, and I've heard you say several quotes that I'm trying to remember and that I try to use. Like it's better in Bradford. Once you plant your feet here, what's that saying you use? Once you plant your feet here,
I say so much. You got me on the.
I got you. I caught you a little bit, but maybe you can think about it as
Once
we
you plant
go.
your feet here, I'm telling you, you grow here. Once you plant it, you blossom here. Because I'm telling you, if you give your neighbors a chance, and I've had bad neighbors and I've had good neighbors.
Right.
But when my bad neighbors needed help, I was still there to help. I mean, it's what we do.
Right.
You know, it's we pull our neighbor out of the ditch. We help them when they can't. They get old and we look after them. They was mean to me as a kid growing up, but they got older. And guess what? I was there to help when COVID came. Some people that I really had an angst with. But you know what? It was more positive for me than it was them.
Right.
To be able to do that, and sometimes it's saying nice things to those people. We grew up, born and raised. You grow up to the people, but at the end of the day, it's for me when I'm nice, even when you don't want to be nice.
Right.
It's picking up the phone and calling somebody you hadn't spoke to in a long time. So sometimes people say, "Oh, it's easier to be nice." Mom used to tell me that. I didn't understand that.
You didn't understand that at the time, right?
I didn't, but it goes back to when I do that to somebody. It shows one is it gives me my forgiveness, my in life, but it also makes me feel better about being a human being, that I'm a better person because of doing that, and it doesn't hurt. It really doesn't hurt.
No, it doesn't.
To be nice. It's sometimes our pride and all gets in the way, but in Bradford County, all in all, we got Union and Baker next to us. I consider them brothers and sisters. We all kind of grew up in the same community and neighborhood, so we look at each other. And I talk those two sheriffs in Columbia County. We probably talk more on a weekly basis than most of the others,
right?
Because our citizens have I think we're all interrelated some kind of way. The family reunions are all met there at the bridge or something. I'm not sure.
We're gonna meet at the bypass.
Saying, but it all in all, at the end of the day,
right?
And the good thing about Bradford County is we're striving to always get better. And it seems like some people say, well, you always don't care what town you travel to.
Right.
And I've been fortunate to be able to travel all over this country. And I was in a little town in Ione, California, where my son's working. And I went into a little liars club like I go to. And listening to them, I'm thinking, these are the same issues I'm hearing in Florida.
Right.
The day-to-day stuff, kind of thing that we all struggle with. We all like to talk. Some people are negative by nature.
Right.
It's hard for them to put a smile on. They're still our friends. And we all face the same day-to-day stuff, and I always try to remind myself that no matter how bad it gets, God's in control, and I'm just a tool to be used by Him.
Right.
And I'm not at the foot of the cross holy ruler by no means, but I know who the man is. And at the end of the day, I'm blessed to be the sheriff. I think I got the best sheriff's job in the country. So
I do. I agree as well. And me and Dave are transplants here, but I don't even really talk like that anymore. I just say it because I want people to perceive. Yeah. And what did he just say? What did he just say right there? You're part of us. Mm-hmm. I feel, and you've heard me say this, Gordon, many a times. Dave, you heard me say, we've talked about it. I feel like I've lived here all my life. Do you know why? Because they've encompassed us. We've accompanied them. Why do we do this show? We do this show. Why do we start this show? Gordon knows. Joel may not know. We started this show for people like that couldn't get out, can't go anywhere, can't do things. Maybe they're handicapped in some sort of form or fashion. We did this show. We do this show and cover these events so we can get the news out to them. Absolutely. That's why we started this show. It wasn't really for anything else. It was to try to get the information out to people. The real news. And that's exactly right. The real news to everybody.
I have people come in my shop every day almost and make a comment. Thank you, Dave, for showing us the parade.
Yes.
You think of what it's cost you all out of your pocket. Meetings. Take all this you've got. I mean, when we started with nothing.
We started with nothing.
And then to watch y'all grow and the money you've put into this, it's a moneymaker. So that's what gets me is what y'all have done to get local stuff out. And look, there's going to be people who disagree with us.
Absolutely,
some of my best friends are on the other end of the spectrum and the belief system than me. But you know what? They're my friend.
Yeah.
It'd be boring if we all thought alike. Mm-hmm. And I always have to apologize. I have to apologize pretty much every day because I'm saying something without, you know me, I'm pretty direct.
Yeah,
sometimes
you're
it's offensive. And I've driven down the road and said, ooh, did that come across? Call them on the phone or turn back around and say, I didn't mean that to come across.
I didn't mean that, yeah.
I've had to apologize to commissioners over the year.
You know why? That's because you care. You got a heart.
I get passionate about certain issues. And my wife will straighten me out. She's like my mom and says, Mom's passed away. She will pop you.
Okay.
Not physically, but I wish she would. It'd be easier than the direct words she'll tell me sometimes and say, hey, I think you, and I get to thinking about it, and maybe that didn't come across the message in the messenger, the message and the receiver. So sometimes I have to remind her of that because we all got to live here together. I don't care what I do to you. in this small community, I'm gonna run into you at the post office.
Right.
I'm gonna run into you at Winn-Dixie. I'm running into you at Walmart. I'm gonna run into you at church.
Sure you are.
So I've had to apologize many times. Don't ever be too big to apologize.
Right.
Because sometimes I didn't mean any harm by what I said, and I've had people not speak to me for a while, and finally you corner them up and say, "Hey man, well you mean?" I said, "What?" That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. You know, you're
Right.
like, I'm sorry, but I do a lot of talking. As I
Right.
know it's hard for you to believe.
No, not you.
Hey, I grew up redheaded freckle. If I hadn't learned how to talk, I'd have never got a date. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How much you have to pay her?
Hey, even a blind hog will find an acorn every now and then. But hey, it was my charm, my charisma. You know what I'm saying? It sure wasn't my looks. You know, my mama thought I had a face for radio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's why I do tornado football. 'Cause I got the
I
same
didn't stand a
thing.
chance. I was redheaded freckle. I had to figure something out in life.
You guys are too hard on yourself, but I gotta say, it's Bradford County that's got the best sheriff in Florida.
Oh,
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. Hey, I may be a little biased here, but hey, I could definitely agree. But I just wanted to back up real quick. Go ahead, Austin. I'm sorry.
I do like the fact when sometimes I see on Facebook, exercise caution.
Moo
No caution. Yeah.
I think I got to give Heater that credit for that one.
Yeah.
Somebody sent me a
I swear it was
screenshot. He said, what is this? Somebody from out of state, buddy of mine, was following and said, what is this? He said, and I looked, I seen, we can tell who posts from ours,
Right.
and I said, Heater got us on that, but it was good. It got their attention.
And going back to,
awesome.
and we'll get to the answer here in just a second, the winner, of course, of what's the date from last month. But, I went back to a reunion on our off week, on Tornado off week. And we had about 70 or 75 there, which is pretty good for our, 45th, actually. We had to do it late because some of the COVID things and things like that that came up. But I went back and, I told him, I was like, I went to school in Pascagoula, Mississippi, Pascagoula Panther. First and foremost, but you know what? I'm a Tornado for life, man, and that's what I told him. And you know what? I told you this. My classmates follow Bradford Tornado football.
Well, it's good
When I
football.
go, yeah, it is. Hey, when I put that thing up there, and we do
been
the
with you.
radio, you've seen it. How many?
Pascagoula.
100
What grade was you
views or
in- What
more.
grade was you in for you could spell that?
6th.
I believe it was older than that.
Mississippi. Well, I used to spell it with
Mississippi,
crooked letters.
Pascagoula. I mean, how in the world?
How in the world could you do that? But anyway, a lot of, even the gals, they were like, man, we follow Tornado football. We follow what you do. We like that live. We like to be able to see what's going on 400 some miles away.
Yeah.
I tell you, it's just, it's a blessing to live here. And I told them, hey, you want to come back? This and that? No. No, I don't want to come. I'm good. I'm good where I'm at right here.
I seen a comment on here, and if you don't mind me.
No, go for it. Yeah.
Liz Tillery Holland. Well, my mama said I was made in Bradford County, but I got a Yankee birth certificate. I was born in Lodi, Ohio.
Ohio.
Spell
That's
that
right.
backwards is idle, just so you know.
Yeah.
Down in County, my brothers and I, my grandfather and them got a small trucking company and
Right.
went against the unions back in the 60s. And Jerry Feltner, the chief up in Lodi,
Yep.
he was born in Gainesville. My parents got him and took him to Ohio with them, and he was raised with us for his young years. But so I understand the connection. But it was, as Mama said, I might not have been born in Bradford County, but I was made in Bradford County.
There you go.
Took me a while to figure out. I was in high school before I figured out what she was saying. It's kind of like that Mississippi education.
Yeah, that Mississippi education. I have that Jethro.
We didn't have TV back then.
Jethro
You had to figure it
education.
out, yeah.
So anyway, welcome into On the Spot with David Rodgers. I'm your host, David Rodgers. You can see the hilarious sheriff that we got, Sheriff Gordon Smith. We've got Mr. Austin Stevens in the house, which you just heard the weather report. We've got the Dancing Destroyer back here, Super Dave Holland. Hey, he's also the King of Sting.
King of Sting. I hadn't heard
The
that one.
King of Sting. And the master of all disasters.
I've seen disaster he's done that.
And also in the house tonight, we got J.D. Norman, who we're going to bring in here in a little bit. Say hello, J.D., to everybody.
Hey, everybody.
There he is with the beard and everything. We're going to talk to him a little bit. Hey, let's just read some of the comments here, Sheriff. Dwight Allen said he won a whole $4. Well, you better go to work tomorrow, Dwight, is all I can
going
say.
back to work.
Yeah, he's going back to work. The model, Sharon Petterpin, said, hello, Sheriff Gordon Smith.
She's a wonderful lady, by the way.
Yes, she sure is. Tara Lynn says, hello, guys. Jimmy Smith said, of course, it's going to rain the day before the Super Bowl, so the compound's going to be muddy.
No, that's 2 days before.
Never mind.
If y'all don't know who Jimmy Smith is,
Fancy
Gordon
won't
can
let
tell
me
you.
down.
That's little brother.
That's Mama's baby boy.
That's Mama's baby boy. That's
Fancy.
it. Fancy. That's him. I seen the meme about Phil. What's that? I seen the meme too about Phil.
Oh, yeah.
That
was pretty good.
That was pretty
stuck,
good.
See?
It's all good, brother. Just wear your boots. Dwight Allen said, of course. Dwight Allen says 2014, David.
All right.
Sharon Petterpin says 2014. Liz Tilly Holland says 2014. Matt Peterson, all you can eat chicken? What? Yes, sir. At the Granny's, I don't think the downtown group gives you all you can eat.
You can't eat all they give you.
No, they can't. And Granny's, you can't either. David, I was in there. Somebody said, hey, give me all you can eat chicken. That plate was covered. Oh. No sides were even on the plate. So, yep, all you can eat chicken, Matt Peterson, right over there on Sundays if you want it.
On Sundays, you better get there for the Baptists get out. That's all I'm going to
Yeah,
say.
that's all we'll say to that. Edward Petterpin says 2014. Jimmy Smith says 2014. Randy Brooks says 2014. Edward Petterpin says amen. Charlie Bagwell says travel the world, but always glad to be home. Sit on our breezeway with a glass of wine and watch the birds.
Amen.
Amen. Ellen Disher Williams, you know her?
I know her well.
You know her really well.
Let me tell you, that's one of the hardest working mamas, grandmamas, loves it. Don't mess with her about her babies.
No.
I've watched her in action.
Yep. She called me when some things was going on in my life, and y'all all know, and I ain't going to get into it. Buddy, first one to reach out. And I tell you, what a great lady she is.
She is an amazing lady.
Yeah, she sure is. Blessed to live in Bradford County, she says. I agree. Jesus was a Griffiths, Dwight Allen says.
Yeah, he was.
Was he?
That's what Mom said.
Well, I'm going to tell y'all a little story, and I don't know if you know this. There's actually a plant, David, in Beaufort, South Carolina, that manufactures Griffiths.
What? Manufacturing.
Griffiths Manufacturing and Starlings.
Yep.
Griffiths and Starlings. They manufacture them each and every day. That's why they're so populated. Here. Wow.
Hey, I come from them.
You come
Hey, I graduated from University of Rayford. I understand everything.
University of Rayford. How many students were there, by the way?
Well, back then there was about 800.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a pretty good class. All right. Ellen Disher Williams says, we are blessed to have you as our sheriff, Sheriff Gordon Smith.
That's it. But I had a high-fluting lady one time. I was in a meeting, and she got to picking about where everybody graduated from. And I guess I giggled when I shouldn't have. Because she was from Harvard.
So from Harvard?
So I told her I graduated from Harvard of the South. She goes, and where is that? I said, University of Rayford. And she didn't even know what I was talking about. It kind of went over, and the other chiefs and sheriffs in the room said, I don't think she caught that, but we did.
Yeah, that's it right there.
There's a joke with my friends. If you don't get the joke, you're too short.
Okay, I get that. Okay. Shirley Bagwell says 2014, David. Sorry you didn't get a cake tonight, Miss Shirley Bagwell said. She was going to make us a cake, man. Have you ever had any of her cakes? Of course you have, brother. I mean, last time
y'all got mad because y'all got a little piece. I left.
You left. You took it with you. Yeah, what kind of cake?
For me,
do you remember what kind of cake that was? By the way, did Stephanie get a piece?
Yes.
Okay.
She did.
Okay, you promise? Okay,
promise.
all right. Okay.
I took it home. It was just me and her, I think. No, my son was still there.
Was it that pistachio cake?
It was the pistachio cake.
Yeah, I remember that.
Because y'all
David
said you get the
happy.
cake. Y'all didn't call me till the next day. By then it was gone.
It was gone. See? Yeah. Well, there you go. All right, you got that. Dwight Allen says, amen, Dave Holland. Matt Peterson says, oh, no, I was born in Florida. Roy Jackson says 2014. Tara Lynn says, hey, big brother, I'm not sure who she's talking to. Is that you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay. Now, I figured that was a dual thing. Matt Peterson, some of these people these days probably weren't born, they were hatched.
Oh.
That's contrary to popular belief. Tara Lynn says, and Gordon, David, and Dave, and friends, awesome show. Thank you very much, Tara. I don't know if you've ever watched the show before. I think you have, but we appreciate you tuning in. Again, you can tune in every Tuesday night and watch this great show. Jimmy's a taller version of Gordon. That's
He's
from
not
Dwight
taller.
Allen. He's not taller?
No, he thinks he is.
Okay.
Oh.
Matt Peterson said you and him are hitting that chicken up. I hear. He said.
Let me
He
tell
said
you, I
whenever
was
he gets
teasing-
time.
You thought I was teasing about the Baptist the other day. My wife and I had nursery. So we got done with nursery as church was getting out. We go to First Baptist. And so we slid out. And we said, well, we went to Chris's last weekend. We'll go. So we said,
Yeah.
let's go back to Chris's. Went to
Right.
Chris's. It was already full. So I said, maybe we'll go to Granny's.
Right.
So we slid back around, went to Granny's. 30-minute wait. The people, she goes, I said, what is going on? People out. I'm telling you, if you mess around, wait too long.
You're right.
When the
You're
Baptist
right.
churches get out,
Yep. You're right. No, you're right, because we was in there at 10:30 and we left and we sat around and talked a little bit. It was 12:30 when we left, and man, that place was packed. They was waiting for our table.
No,
they didn't want to be
that's the-
rude and say, "Hey," but
that's
they was waiting
that's
on
the
our
gospel
table.
bird, brother. On Sunday, that's what you're supposed to eat: fried chicken.
Boy, you ain't kidding. Now let me ask you something. Do you like liver and onions?
I do.
Okay. Do you get it at Granny's if you get it? Have you had theirs?
I've had theirs before.
Okay. Do you like it?
Yeah, it's good. I'm not many people are. I kind of go back to old traditional. Mom and I, we eat everything. When
Yep.
you kill an animal, you eat everything. It's one of those meals that one day it was a special, and somebody else got it at the table. It was wrong. So I said, just give it to me.
Right.
It's delicious. If I
Yeah.
ever eat again, it'd be okay. But it's nothing I'll turn away from.
Right.
The only thing I can't stand is the smell when it's cooking.
Right. You're right. And of course we don't smell that because they do that in
Right,
the kitchen.
it's in the kitchen.
But you know, none of my family likes it. You like it? Are you much?
I don't do too much liver and onions.
And that's what I go in there for is the liver and onions. So no matter what the special is, I'll go in there and eat
I
their
want
liver and
chicken
onions.
dinners.
Which Miss Ellen Disher Williams said, guess what? Fried gizzards are also good too.
I go in there. You can always order the full platter. Then I can take some home and
Right.
after church nap, after meal nap. I
Yeah.
wake up. I can eat some. I
I
like
can
them
do some
cold.
gizzards now.
I like them cold with just hot sauce on.
Yeah, there you go. And she is absolutely right, David. You know them. Joel, I don't know how often you go in there. Dave knows them. But, hey, all those waitresses in there are sweet ladies.
wonderful.
Rob and
Wonderful.
and Melody.
Several been there a long time.
They've been there a long time with Robert and Granny. And I'll tell you, they're wonderful people. Shayna, all those guys over there. They, man, I tell you, they know you by name
They
when
do,
you come
and
in there.
And the patience of Job. I mean, they really have
Yes.
some people. But people traveling. You run into people that's where when they come through Stark, that's where they go.
Yeah, you're right.
You'll see them seasonally, and you'll say, "Hey, I ran into you a couple years ago."
Exactly.
They'll stop you.
They'll stop.
And tell you they're from Rhode Island, they're from Pennsylvania, wherever. It's amazing.
We stopped in there, like I said, we was in there at 10:30, and we pulled into the parking lot. And I'm like you, I like to
What's
watch
been on
where
the
the
church?
tags. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Don't-
No,
Skip that.
I skipped that one. But anyway, I was looking at the tags as I was pulling in. Massachusetts, like you said, Rhode Island, New York. And I was like, man, they're passing through and going through. And they say every year when they come through here, they stop right in there and eat at that place. And not just
Yeah,
only
it's a
that
wonderful
place,
place,
but other
man.
places, like you said, the downtown
Down
grill.
grill, they got the same because you get a lot of the military guys at that end.
Yeah.
Draw there, so you get a lot of that bunch that comes in every season. Chrissy's got a great staff that's been there forever.
Yes.
And,
Yes.
and the way her setup is, if Granny's was twice the size, she'd probably do. I don't know how they keep up because my gosh,
I don't either.
you'd have to have. It's like any business in this town though, y'all. There's a lot of people that aren't working, and every business has got a help wanted sign on it.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be in tough times, and but I tell you this: when you see long-term employees there, they're not like the fast food restaurants in town. Now, some of the fast foods have the same one or two people,
Sure.
but those people have been with those businesses.
That's a great call,
Tony
Gordon.
Now's, it's a lot.
Tony and Al's. I was just getting ready to mention him.
Tony Now's. We try to stop in. I'm a local person, as you know.
You
And,
do the gamut, right?
I
You
do
try
the
to
gamut.
stop.
We
Yeah,
just-
try to.
because it's what we do, and
Yeah.
we're on the go quite a bit with the grandkids, baseball, basketball, football, and they're different ages, so we're always
Right.
going. Then I have meetings every night, so it's a lot of times it's easier for us to grab food. And I'm gonna tell you
Right.
now, we're starting to use. They're getting delivery services now.
Yes, they do.
And bringing
Yeah.
food to you, or if you call ahead, they'll prepare it so you ain't got to go in. Because a lot of times we're just tired and exhausted. They're closing, but I've never seen one of those businesses not go out of their way. Catering. Look at the chamber banquet. What Chrissy did for the downtown group for the chamber banquet. Was that not one of the best?
That was-
I'm
it
gonna
was
shout
amazing,
out
man.
that spread. You could not. I've been to a lot of chamber
Yeah.
banquets in 30 some years ago.
Yeah, and I do.
Let me tell you that spread that Chrissy put on for that
Chamber banquet?
Not only that, y'all, they started decorating at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
That was the fanciest, and I'm not a medieval kind of guy, you know what I'm saying?
But just
the atmosphere, the setting, packed, but the food.
Yes. I want to thank, and by the way, I'm glad you said that, so we'll go. I'll tell you what, let's give the answer to this. David, what is the answer to this, brother? Let's wait for it, and the answer is 2016.
Told you I was wrong.
Yep, everybody was wrong tonight. How about that?
I said 2016.
Oh, no, you're good. But them guys, these guys here.
When you said that,
hey,
I read
these
the names,
guys, they're in the
drawing?
You're in the drawing. Yeah, you're in the drawing.
Man.
So you're the only one so far this month.
Right at the very beginning, he said
Yeah.
2022.
And by the way, David, and the winner of the $25 gift certificate, we pulled his name earlier.
Yes, sir.
If he's still on, congratulations, Jimmy Langley.
All right.
Jimmy Langley. I don't know what he's going to do with it in the Bahamas, but hey, he may say
Share it with a friend.
He'll share it with a friend. Maybe when he comes back, he'll go visit the Downtown Grill. So Jimmy Langley is our winner for the $25 gift certificate.
Yeah,
Now you're just going to have to make him come
I
back
came
to the state of
across
Florida.
something in our archives, and I'd like to share with
Would you like to share it? Okay, go ahead. Absolutely. Yeah, let's
Here
see.
we go.
All right, let's see. Oh, well, look at here. Hey, speaking of grannies right here, ladies and gentlemen, look at here.
smokes.
So we got Robert, we've got
before the
Melody,
remodel.
we've got Pat in the middle, I think, and Shayna on the
Shayna,
right.
yep.
Yep, and
I
Shayna.
tried to get all of them.
Yeah, but you couldn't get them.
They're moving around so much.
Robin and those guys, they were probably flying
Chasing
around.
fire ants.
Yeah, they were
Chasing fire
ants. But anyway, oh, by the way, do you have an old picture of Byron too? Byron says he's not here tonight. I'd like to pull up a picture of Byron as he was. You're talking about the medieval days.
Oh, yeah.
Byron used to have a look for the medieval
He
days, by
did.
the way, Joel. And we'll bring that up here in just a few minutes. Linda Jacobs says, hello, everyone. Hello, Miss Jacobs. How are you? Dwight Allen, love liver and onions. Dwight, we got to go. Maybe we can all get together. We'll all go up there. Absolutely. Tara Lynn says, don't forget the gator tail.
Oh,
They
Oh,
do.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. No. Tara's right. Tara is absolutely right. She says, I love their fried livers. Do you like their fried livers?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Gordon says,
Hey,
yeah.
throw them right in the mix. That ain't gonna, hey, it won't slow me down.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Matt Peterson bringing up stuff. He says, Gordon, do y'all remember when the Skeeter's cow was on top of the BHS auditorium? It's just like, yeah. Well,
Statute of limitations. I've been falsely accused of a few things in my life, but some things ring close to home.
Oh, yeah. Linda Jacobs says, I love Tony Alf. So do I. I really do. I love their
We're
spaghetti.
great for the downtown, and we get this thing downtown. Y'all, I know it's aggravating right now. I started to turn on today, going, to eat lunch at the afternoon.
The afternoon line. We got two of them.
At the downtown grill, I got a morning bunch. You got to get your intelligence, gathered. It's different.
Let me ask something. Does the same guys go in the morning and in the afternoon?
No, it's different.
Okay, it's different.
And then about once every couple of weeks, I go to Keystone and make the rounds down there.
Oh, boy.
But seeing your community, y'all, and Lawdy right now is without a restaurant, which was there all my life.
Yeah.
And and Brooker used to have the local stores, and now they're chains. So it makes it a little more difficult for a couple of our outlying communities. But let me tell you something. We're truly blessed with what's going on in our county right now. A lot of it has to do with things. The chamber's shaking. Our new county manager's out trying to bring businesses, which I think's great, showing off what we can do. And we're centrally located. We are the heartbeat of Florida. So when you look at being the heartbeat of Florida and what we have to offer, you can live here.
Right.
And within a couple hours, you can be pretty much, whether it be Disney, the beach, downtown Jacksonville, you can do whatever it is that interests you,
Right.
and still come home at night. And as I told Sheriff Rutherford when I first became sheriff, now Congressman Rutherford,
Right.
we went to a bird shoot one morning. I had to pick him up, and I had to go through 2 gates to get to his house.
Okay.
And I got in the truck and he said, you can't stay parked out on the road, just circle. I said, what in the world? He said, oh, you get a fine here parking on the road. One of them gated communities.
Yeah,
So
sure.
we get in the truck and we're getting back up on the interstate and make sure we had our guns and stuff to go bird hunting, quail hunting. And I'm just driving. Well, me being a young sheriff, and
Yeah.
my mouth gets me in trouble. I said, Sheriff, I said, what does it say to the people that the sheriff of this county has to live in a gated community? You can see that look coming across his face. And he didn't say nothing. He kind of just sat there for a minute, hesitated, and I said, well, he looks at me and he said, well, Gordy, he said, how many gated communities you got down there in Bradford County? And I'm the new guy. You know,
Right.
I'm
just driving, yeah.
I had my truck and I'm driving. I said, thought about it for a minute. And I said, well, we got one. He said, well, what does that say that people have to live in a gated community? What's that say about the job you're doing as the sheriff? I said, yeah, but ours is called jail. We trying to keep them in, not keep them out. so, you know, I mean, it's all in perspective. You know, it's all in perspective in what you do. But I'm excited for the more than I have been in a long time. I worried about the overpass.
Yeah.
But bringing that in, and I seen Pam Whittle's watching. Hopefully we can get some of them LED lights that go across top that we can do things with.
I hope so too.
For the holidays and different events we have that go along with the flags they do for downtown.
Can I say something about Pam Whittle
down there on the main strip though? That light.
Yes, that Christmas parade was awesome. But I want to thank Pam Whittle for a couple of things. First and foremost, J.D. Norman's joining us, by the way. I'll get to him and what he does. But me and him actually had the honor to DJ that particular event. And I want to thank Pam for choosing us to do that. I think everybody had a good time.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to do it again. Huh?
She was responsible for y'all?
Yes, she was.
Oh,
Nice.
no.
I'm not complaining. I'm just
No. She was
I'm
responsible.
telling you,
She was responsible
Good
for
choice.
us. And let me say this. By the way, her and Lisa Sims and her crew, like Gordon was saying, and Chrissy's group, did an amazing job. Man, was that place phenomenal
It's
what?
one of the best times I've had in several years.
One of
telling
the
you.
best decorations, David,
Pretty
that
cool.
I have ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, they went all out. The chair to
Made you
the
feel like you were
dragon,
really there,
they're
man.
really there. And we
Wonderful.
and Joel was like, man, I had to go home and get a shower real quick. I wanted to smell good. Joel did this. He went home and did the same thing. And you know, while I was gone, Joel picked the perfect thing. What'd you choose there, Joel? You had that long list of
we
that
had all
medieval
the medieval Celtic music playing.
Celtic music playing in the background.
all
So we
It
turned
was-
it in from a conference center to a medieval tavern.
Tavern, yeah, we did. That's what we
We had a
said.
good time, y'all. I'm telling you, it was a
it
good
was great.
social time. The food was great.
Oh, my
the
gosh.
atmosphere was great. You couldn't.
People were great.
Get it
The
out
people
home
that
run. I don't know how she's gonna keep up with it for next year, but
I don't either. And the people that won the awards, very
perfect.
deserving. That was a perfect deal. And David, by the way, if you didn't know, Business of the Year was Williams Jewelry.
Yep.
All right.
The Business Person of the Year was Avery Roberts. Man, and I tell you, Gordon, I ain't going to lie to you. And I was talking to Joel about it, and Joel knows him and knows what he does over there. I did not know he was involved in that many things. The list was this long when his daughter was reading it off.
Oh yes, he's very involved. He, he does a lot. He gives a lot back. I mean, there's never been a time that you can call him and say, "Hey, I got this issue. This person." You know, he's always, "What you need, Sheriff."
Right.
What you need. He's one of those kind of guys. It doesn't. You don't even. A lot of times, okay, tell me where I need it, or I got this issue. This person needs something pulled out, or hey, this person's in a hard way. Can we do something? He's giving people jobs that just off the cuff.
Smart too, man. The different things that he's involved in, David. He's involved in agriculture. He's involved in construction. He's involved in just some. It blew my mind. I had to tell Joel. I was like, really, Joel? I mean, I know him, but I don't know him probably as well as you do and some of the others do. But this guy's just all over the place and making things happen. And I know he loves Union County football. I do know that.
Oh, yeah.
He loves Union County football.
That's our big rivalry every year.
That's the big rivalry every
The axis
year.
of evil, I call it. Union, Baker, and Keystone. That's the axis of evil we have to contend with every year.
You're right. But no, that place was absolutely fabulous. I wish y'all could have seen it. There is some pictures out there on Facebook. I do believe they
There's a
put
ton of
some.
pictures.
So you can go out there and look. I didn't want to take any or film. We was doing our thing, but there's some things out there. Did you want to say something, Austin?
I was gonna say, yeah, don't attack me at all. I graduated from Keystone.
Oh, okay. Well, you're on the other side. But anyway, congratulations, she said to everybody. Dwight, I'll call you. We'll go. Absolutely. We worked for a week on that decor, guys. It was
I don't
great.
doubt it.
Pam
I
Whittle
don't doubt
says.
it. I know.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Byron says, good evening, brothers, sisters, patriots, infidels, and miscreants. That's Byron Bagwell for you, ladies and gentlemen. And Dwight Allen's telling him good evening. So I want to go and talk to, just before we get into a couple of things, I want to introduce, guys, a good friend of mine. I've known him for a long time. Let me preface back how I met this young man. I used to be the youth pastor. Where are you going, Gordon? Oh, you're going to get some drink.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I met this young man right here when I was a youth pastor.
A long time ago.
A long time ago at Rayford, what's the name of it?
Pine Grove.
Pine Grove, Congregational Methodist Church. And I tell you, we used to have a good time. Joel was a young man. Now, he wasn't a small kid, but he was a young man. And Joel, we've known each other probably 22 years, something like that, at least. And I've seen this young man evolve from that young man to what he is now. And he's first and foremost, he's a godly man, number one. Number two is he's got a great family. He's a family man. He loves his wife. He loves his children. He works hard. And me and him has been able to get together and do some gigs like the one we just did at the Chamber. And I tell you, I enjoy working with this guy each and every time that we can get a gig together. There's a mesh there. You know, when you mesh, you feel it. Like me and Byron, we mesh when we do the football games. Me and Kevin did that. When we do music or when we DJ, we mesh. It's just something about it. And I'll mesh with other people, but there's a bond there, and we understand each other. He knows his role. I know my role. Absolutely. We can both do the same role. And it's just it's just really one of those things that I can't really explain, Joel, to be honest with you. But tell everybody a little bit about yourself. I sort of preface how we knew each other. Tell everybody your background, where you grew up at, what you're sort of doing, and tell everybody what you do. I think it's interesting.
Grew up around this time. I mean, I've been in Stark and Lake Buller my whole life. Graduated in Lake Buller. And went to college. I got a bachelor's degree in music production, recording engineering, and play music all over the place. Play with some good acts, a lot of local acts.
Right.
A lot of local acts that come up there to the Downtown Grill. Nick Pregoni and Stephen Flowers, to name a few. Great musicians, great group of people, man. I love both of them. So now what I do is I own my own company, AV Elements Productions. And we run sound, we set up sound, lights, streaming equipment.
Right.
And, if you're doing it live.
Right.
And I work during the day, a company over in Orange Park called Trinity AVL, owned by the one and only Jim Costello.
Or Jim Costello, right.
Wonderful guy, wonderful family. And we install audio mixers, anything production for churches, government buildings, concert lighting, audio mixers, amplifiers, microphone, anything that's related to that.
Right.
AVL, audio, video lighting, that's what we do.
Good deal. And you're married? Tell everybody about yourself. You're married?
I'm
You've
married.
got some great kids, by the way. I love each and every one of them.
5 of them to be my oldest is 20 and my youngest is 7.
They don't have TV in Rayford.
Well, I'm just right down the road from them, so we're close to not having TV.
It's way out there, man. So when they, we paid for Netflix and then wouldn't stream.
We have Starlink now. I know some people out in that area have subscribed to Starlink, waiting on the equipment. They got to get on a waiting list.
Well, we recently moved to Stark. They said Gordon Smith was sheriff, so we moved over.
There you go. Hey, there you go.
There you go. Hey, he's already
great guy.
Hey, give me that 20 that you told me to slip it to him.
Well, I'm glad, man. That's good stuff.
Yes, sir.
So anyway, Joel, like I said, he's into sound. He DJs over in Gainesville. He DJs at a particular club, a couple of clubs over there. The High Dive.
The High Dive mostly. Yeah, that's the main one. Yeah.
But when somebody else calls you, you're definitely in.
Yeah, we run sound for any place that needs it.
Right.
That the show that we do at the High Dive is sponsored by a good friend of mine I went to high school with, and he's into that rock and roll music. If it weren't for him, I probably wouldn't have got introduced to it,
Right.
But it's a good thing. He's grown from Gainesville. He's doing it all over the Tampa, Orlando, New York, Tennessee, South Carolina, so he's.
And by the way, I noticed that Matt Peterson was on. Matt Peterson does the same thing we all do.
Okay.
They do it. They're more into the more technical part of it than I am. Hey, I'm just, what'd you say? The mouthpiece. I just done the mouthpiece, play a little music here and there, know my knowledge of music. But these guys get more technical, a little more deep into it. By the way, Sheriff, I don't know if you knew, and guys and ladies that are watching out there, Joel's actually got, I don't want to call it a contract, but he's got a lot of the proms and things that are coming up. You've got the one at Fort White again,
White.
right? Bradford?
Not
yet, not
the
yet.
high school here in Bradford, but
Okay.
Northside. I do got Northside.
You got Northside. You got Union.
Union County.
Yep.
And Keystone.
And Keystone. So, and Bradford, you're still working on that, or did they get somebody?
I'm not sure what they got going on yet, so we'll have to
Okay.
see what's going on. I mean, we've got a few months left to go and see.
Right. We do weddings together. We got several weddings coming up. Lisa Sims has got probably several of them that are coming up.
Yeah.
She's already said. So we got several things that are going to be coming up, and I look forward to working with Joel. But one of Joel's other talents is he can play that guitar and he can sing. And Joel, for everybody that's watching here, and we got a nice little crowd right here. What you gonna play? By the way, we talked a little bit about this.
I can play. I'll play one of my originals.
Original, right?
Yeah.
This is something you wrote, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you're gonna do a cover.
I can do a cover if you want me to do a cover.
Okay, sure. Well, let me let you at it right here,
right.
ladies and gentlemen. Here he is, Mr. Joel Norman, right here, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, this song right here is called "Loses It All." This is one I wrote. I wrote this back in 2016, I think it was. Same year as the question.
There you go.
Okay, there you go.
No.
Stares at herself so blindly in the mirror. Her mascara off, it looks like veins on her skin. She always hides away, never conveys her feelings. There's a look in her eyes, like the devil's back again. Feeling her heart of scars, but you wanna be around when she tears up this town, running through sorrows to drown when the whiskey runs out, and then she loses it all. Silence is stirred by the pain that she's in. A touch from her heart may still magnolias turn dim. Now she realizes she's pain with no canvas, a page without words, her without him. She'll burn down the boulevard, but you wanna be around when she tears up this town, running through sorrows to drown till the whiskey runs out, then she loses it all.
Wow, good job, man.
Great job,
I
man.
knew you could DJ.
Wow.
Wow.
You know, well, I'll
Pretty
tell
good,
you,
I'm not gonna lie.
I ain't gonna lie, that was really good. And I tell you, if you'd have had your guitar that night, I'd have put you front and center right there up on that stage and let you sing a
that
couple
would've been
there.
good.
So you wrote all that yourself?
Yes, sir.
Man, that's
So
very good.
that was a song. What's the title of it, Joel?
Loses It All. It should be coming on platforms very soon.
Good.
So we'll be able to download our iTunes
Yes, sir.
and all that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Not on iTunes. I very seldom listen to the radio anymore. I plug my phone in, and it's everything that I want to listen to. I don't have to worry about searching.
I do the same thing, man.
What'd you think about that? What'd you think about that, Austin?
So as I do get into music, I would be curious. Are you going to set up what, like, say, if you upload it for Apple's music stuff, will you be putting it in Dolby Atmos?
Oh yeah, I put it in tons of platforms: Spotify, Apple, Napster.
Because I dabble into like audio stuff because I'm building my own studio eventually at my own house and working on mics, but also I dabble into when I mess with audio, I like to listen to like like country or rock or whatever.
Right.
When they put it in Dolby Atmos, where you can hear all the instruments.
Yeah, I grew up on rock and roll, I guess, when everybody was trying to
Sure.
listen to country. And
Yeah.
and my daddy used to say I like two kinds of music, country and western.
Yeah.
Outlaw back then, Waylon
Yeah,
Jennings,
sure. Waylon
Outlaw
Jennings,
stuff.
all the boys,
But
yeah.
grew up on rock and roll, Kiss, AC/DC, Black Sabbath, White
Oh, yeah.
Snake, all the stuff. Kiss was the first real rock concert I ever went to.
Me too, by the way.
Kind of thing back in the day. And then now as I get older, the blues, because I guess they got lyrics you can relate to. I catch myself listening to some of the old blues,
Yep.
jazz. It's amazing when I was in Boston going to that school up there, Harvard. Got to go to some jazz
Harvard.
and got hooked at some of the jazz and kind of.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you look at my playlist, I've got everything you can think of. And it's according to what mood you're in.
Right.
Yeah, it
Sometimes-
is.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
It
tell you
really is.
somebody
Yeah.
just I got turned on to a local, off the subject real quick. Jelly Roll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, old Jelly Roll. We
Jelly
talked
Roll.
about him the
did
other
not
night,
know-
didn't we?
This guy
We
came
talked-
out of
Son of a
nowhere.
sinner.
Hey, I'm telling you, my wife said, "Who's that guy?" And I showed you. What? It don't sound kind of like Willie Nelson. He ain't real good to look at, but he can play music.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah.
he's got a real story. He's real
Son of
country.
a sinner.
Very.
But
Yes.
he started out with hip hop and kind of the rap
Yeah,
stuff.
he
and,
actually got invited to the Grand Ole Opry not too long ago.
He did.
Yeah.
He
One
played
of
on
the
the
first
Grand Ole
ones to play
Opry.
there, yeah.
And let me tell you, I just watched him on a YouTube the other day. I'm big in YouTube. Matter of fact, if you're watching this show, you need to go to YouTube and hit the bell. On the spot.
On the
Sometimes
spot,
I can't
right,
watch
right.
it on Tuesday night, so
Right.
I go to YouTube
On
and
Wednesdays.
watch because everything I search now. My wife and I will watch a lot of YouTube, catch the highlights, but you can see everything you don't. So
I
if you get a
text from
chance,
Gordon if I'm running late.
that's right. Go on the spot on YouTube with Dave Rodgers. Hit the like button, join the membership, but also hit the bell. So whenever you are going to do something
Right.
or go live on something, it sends
Right.
you a nice text or alert to your
Bing.
phone, and then you say, "Oh, Dave's on live," and those kind of things. But I'm telling you, that Jelly Roll guy. When you talk about outlaw country, he's the real deal. He's not
Yeah,
somebody
he is.
pretending
Yep.
to be. He's
Also
been. If you read his story, is unbelievable. You can do better, no matter what you come from.
Exactly.
No matter where you've been, you.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
song actually made it to the #1 rock song on.
So when you
Yes.
Rock, country, he's hit it all. That's
Yeah.
just a song that it's
Yeah,
real.
just for that
It's-
mood,
But
just
you can
for that
realize it.
style,
And my wife's
yeah.
like, "What are you listening to now?" She's like, "Play your favorite." So we get into watching that going down the road, listen to it every time we're on there. She goes, "Play it." She's telling me to play it more than I. And we've got to go on. We're on YouTube, so we get to watch the video that he has with it.
Right.
So it's pretty neat.
Yeah,
in the shop, I got Hey Google, and
Yeah.
when you want to listen to some music, as far as rock and roll, you got to say classic rock and roll now.
Yeah. Well, we have Google and Alexa in our house. Wife's got Google on her side of bed. I got Alexa on my side of bed.
No one, please.
She sleeps with Google. I
She
sleep with
sleeps with
Alexa.
Anyway, hey, Tara, thank you for that. Tara went to the church too, and I'm trying to remember Tara, which I know Tara.
Yeah, she hung out with Miriam and
Sandy, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I remember Tara.
Yeah.
Sweet girl. So, yes, thank you, Tara, for that. I appreciate it. Byron said, great song, by the way. JD, if I wanted to run to Marshall 100 with super lead and stereo, what type of gate would you recommend?
I don't know. There's tons.
Right.
There's tons.
Yeah, Byron. So maybe we can get you an answer on that. David, can we turn up the volume on the next song? Miss Shirley Bagwell said that the volume it was a little low. So I don't know if it's our phone or if it was us, but anyway, I didn't see any other comments. But if we just turn it up a little bit, Ellen says she loves the blues, and yes, he was a rocker, and now she likes.
And
she
the
likes
blues
it.
just have stories to them. So I guess
It does.
And it seems like when I was younger, and now that life's experiences kind of relate a lot to the blues, and now you understand why that was such a meaningful music back in the time when people were really struggling.
Oh, Joe Bonamassa is supposed to be at the amphitheater in March.
Yes.
Seen it, yes.
So I would like, Byron plays too. Oh, yeah. I would like to give for you and him maybe to get together in one show, man. Maybe we play you guys can play 3 or 4 songs together.
Sounds good.
Oh, man, I tell you, I would just enjoy hearing both of you guys play. He's got a great voice. He can play. You've got a great voice. So what do you have coming up? So what do you want to do as far as your cover goes? We talked a couple of things, didn't we?
I went through a couple of things,
okay.
Man. I think I'm going to do a Chris Stapleton song.
Are you?
But it's going to be, it's not Tennessee whiskey. Like.
Oh, no. Oh, man, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do that one for you next time.
Okay, that'll work. All right. Again, right here, Mr. Joel Norman with one more tune here. Mr. Chris Stapleton at you.
Seen my share of broken halo, folding wings we used to fly. They're all gone, wherever they go. Broken halo, they used to shine. See angels come down from the heavens just to help us on our way. They come to teach us, then they leave us, find some other soul to save. I've seen my share of broken halos, folded wings we used to fly. They're all gone, wherever they go. Broken melody used to shine. Don't go asking for the reasons. Don't go asking Jesus why. We're not meant to know the answers. They belong to the by and by. I seen my share of broken halos, folded wings we used to fly. They're all gone, wherever they go. Broken halos they used to shine. Broken halos they used to shine.
Wow. Nice job, Joel. My goodness gracious, man.
That was great, man. I couldn't have picked a better song. I
Couldn't have
started to
picked-
mess it up because I started to sing along, but
I was too. I just hushed my
I
mouth.
kept trying to stop myself.
Did you see David? David
Oh, yeah.
said,
I wish I
could play. Me too. I wish I could play so bad.
So how old were
Yeah.
you when you started playing?
Man, I remember picking the guitar up when I was young. I got my dad to buy me one. And we had a talent show when I was in elementary school. And my dad bought me a guitar. He bought it like 2 days before the audition, right? And so I go into this audition, and I'm tons of kids in there. And I get up, and she's like, "What you playing?" I said, "I'm going to play La Bamba, and I'm going to sing La Bamba." And she says, "Wow." She's like, "I didn't know you played." She says, "How long you been playing?" I said, "Since yesterday."
He wasn't scared.
So I get up there, and I just don't have no chords, man. I'm just strumming. So wind up singing in the talent show while the music instructor played the guitar. Playing it seriously, I've only been playing for about 5 years, maybe. Seriously, since 2000.
Yeah, I don't know how long Byron's been playing. How long did he say? I think Byron's told us before. he's probably been playing a little bit now. Of course, his work schedule, the way he probably doesn't get on it like he wants to. But
he was a music teacher.
He was a band teacher. That's how he started off. He went to get his degree as a music teacher.
He played a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and then of course he was in a little bit of everything, and now he's working for Haven Hospice. So I'm sure he's probably going to get back on the guitar at some point.
Yeah.
All right, before I'll let you go, at least give me the chorus to Tennessee Whiskey.
All right, let's.
Oh, sorry about that.
No, it's fine.
All right, do it from there.
Come on, David, you know that song.
Oh, I know it, but I ain't gonna mess him up. So you're smooth.
Tennessee whiskey, you're a sweet strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. I stay stoned on your love all the time.
All right.
Appreciate it, man. That's good stuff. I don't care who you are.
I tell you, me and him talked a little bit about this, and I can tell you're a music guru too. A lot of people did that song.
Oh,
To me though, Gordon, and you may disagree, man, Chris Stapleton's
he nailed
version.
it. He just nailed it. If you watch him in concert sing it too, he's just got the right emotion, the body language.
We were talking about that
the
song.
way it's the way you do it. It's like somebody tells a joke. One person can tell you, go, the other person come in with. You got to have you got to.
Yeah.
There's a way of doing it that you can't say it. But hey, I did see something. Man, that was awesome. Thank you, man. It's really good stuff tonight. But I seen somebody on here watching, and I got to ask this question.
Okay.
I heard Alabama's getting a new football coach.
Is that right?
Really?
Oh,
I heard nothing.
really?
Yeah. Now Tom Bailey could answer if Tom Bailey was tuning in. Tom Bailey would be able to tell me if
Well,
the rumor was true.
I know who he would like to have for a coach. He's said it 14,000 different times. He would like to have Urban Meyer.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what he said. He said Saban's done, which I don't know about all that.
I seen Tom. I was trying to pick on him some, but I got to tell you this. I will say this about Saban.
What's that?
Those kids that wanted all that money that comes in, he cut him. He said no. That NIL money or whatever it is that's coming in.
Right.
I was reading an article where he said, nope, that's not where we're going to be. You're here to play ball and get an education.
Right.
Yeah, so I got to give him credit for that. This thing, absolutely. I think they don't realize what it's doing to college football. And it's not fair to the other community colleges that have good teams and good players and the spirit of it. They, a lot of kids don't get an opportunity for a free education.
Right.
And an opportunity to go play in the NFL.
And you're exactly right. So, Tom Bailey, thank you for joining in. I hope you caught that song. Just want to hit a couple of comments like the sheriff was saying. Ellen Disher Williams says, yeah, jelly is awesome. Matt Peterson said, if you like Jelly Roll, check out Tommy Vex and Struggle Jennings. We did production for them at Ferg's in St. Pete last year.
I actually opened up for Struggle Jennings in Gainesville.
In Gainesville.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Struggle Jennings.
I remember that.
And Tommy Vex wasn't there then. But Struggle Jennings and Yellow Wolf and all them were there in Gainesville, and I opened up for Struggle Jennings.
That'd have been
wonderful guy, man. He still got my pair of sunglasses actually.
Byron said definitely he would like y'all to get together. Maybe, man, that would be a great show. We'll bring the sheriff back. We'll let him sing a couple of songs. He told me he can't carry a tune in a bucket, but right? That's true. You got the face for radio?
Yeah.
Okay, same thing. But anyway, hey.
He's got the face for radio.
Yeah, there you go. The face for radio. But anyway, so a couple of quick things for you, and then I want to go to Gordon, and then I want to get y'all Super Bowl predictions before we leave, by the way. We got to get that. So next thing we got, or you got coming up, is what? I know we got a couple of weddings down the road.
Proms, a couple of just sound. Running sound, no DJing, just running sound and lights.
Right. Okay.
And I'm hoping to get a spot at the county fair this year playing some music. So.
Yep, we're working on that. Gordon, we need to try to work on who's our who's our fair guy there? What's his name? He was at the chamber there the other night. Was Dale? What's his name?
Dale Woodruff.
Yeah, Dale Woodruff.
About over the Fair Association.
Yeah, over at the Fair Association. He'd like to get in there and play on one of those nights. Maybe we can get a hold of Dale and see if we can get him on to play. That would be awesome.
That would be wonderful.
So we're going to try to do that. Also, Joel's involved in a lot of things. He also works out at Jenny Springs.
Jenny Springs, yes.
During the summers, he's security guard out there and making sure everybody's safe and everybody's doing what they do. So not only is in the sound, he's in the security. So Joel does a little bit of everything. So Joel, how can people find you? If they want to do a wedding, if they want sound, or if they just want to hear you play, how can they find you?
You can look me up on Facebook, JD and Norman. You can look me up on Instagram as Rock Savage, but I don't know if you know how to spell that. It's spelled quite different than what it sounds. Or you could look me up, send me a text, 904-263-7689.
And you can also get it on the spot with David Rodgers and through on the spot 32091 at gmail.com, and I'll make sure that he gets the message, no doubt. So you can hit him up there as well. Thank you, Joel, again. Stay right there. Want to talk a couple of quick things. What time we got, Gordon? What time you got?
I got 8:31.
You got 8:31. Let's get into something real quick. I just want to get onto the national level a little bit. I know some of the people have been asking this question here. And then I want to ask you something local. So you want to go with the local first or the national first?
Let's go national first.
All right. What's up with this balloon that's been flying over our airspace for the last week and a half, almost 2 weeks? Shouldn't we have shot this down before it even hit our airspace? And by the way, once it did, shouldn't we have shot this thing down in Alaska?
Absolutely. I'm not the specialist in that, but here's my feelings on that.
Yep.
We know for a fact that the China government,
Yep.
Beijing and all them, are a threat to America. Probably one of our greatest threats. Everybody thinks about Russia. They've stolen millions and millions of our technology secrets. They're every day beating at us at trying to steal our trade secrets and those type things. But what gets me is the public didn't know about it until after it passed through Alaska, Canada, and got into Montana. That a reporter just happened to see it and called NORAD and did some inquiring that they finally the cat was out of the bag. Now they're saying, well, in the past there's been some smaller balloons off the coast. Well, look, they're doing the same thing we're doing. I get it.
Yeah.
If that had been our balloon over China, what do you think they'd have done?
Yeah. Well, can I remind you of something?
What made that for?
Well, it was a few years back. Do you remember we had an F-18 not even going to their airspace? It was close. Remember they shot that thing down?
Shot it down.
And we did what? Nothing that I remember of.
Nothing.
So, no, you're right. So I know exactly what would have happened.
So that's what gets me is, and here's the thing. What did they really collect? I don't know. We can only speculate. There's people that are in that business that they're supposed to know that. They said we could scramble their signal. I don't know about all that. There's no way to stop it all, I don't believe. But when you got a balloon that's that high, people understand it's not we're in our regular flight zone.
No,
Our
it was
commercial
not.
aircraft and our military. They said, we're going to see if their military can shoot something down that high in the sky.
Right.
You think it's over Montana, but it could have been watching California.
Sure.
It's that high in the sky. People understand we're flying at 30, 40,000 feet. This thing's 60, 70,000 feet going all over.
Right.
We let it get all the way. We could have dropped it in areas and recovered it. We'll know in the coming weeks, I think, with hearings to find out what it was all really about. I just wish we'd have handled it a little bit differently. But hindsight's 2020. I hope we'll find out better news in the coming weeks that says, here's why. Maybe they thought it was armed with something. Don't know. Could it have been filled with something? I'm not that guy that had to speculate if we shoot it. Was it filled with something that would create some other type of catastrophe?
Taking pictures.
But we could have got it off the coast of Alaska.
Yes, we could have.
We could have got it off the 12 mile with a whole lot less population.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, but once it gets here and you wait too long and you're playing the guessing game, you're sitting in a war room with the smartest minds in the world.
Right.
America still has the smartest minds. I don't care. The president to me doesn't matter. It's those smart minds that sit in that war room. Look, we're still undefeated.
Right. Absolutely.
So no matter what we say and what we agree with the governor or not, those people in that room had to make a decision. I don't want to second guess anybody at this point. I think we'll find out more in the weeks to come, and then we'll know for sure should we or should we have not have shot it down. Because the first thing I said, if we shoot it down, is it maybe armed with something? Is it got a gas? Does it have something?
Which wanted to bring me to the question to you two guys, to all of you, to the panel. How do we know that thing wasn't dissipating a virus?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
There you
We
go.
don't
Yeah.
know.
It
So,
did have explosives on it.
so yeah.
It
So
was
our
updating
people.
Google Maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Here's my problem. What do we do in response?
Right.
Exactly.
Now, I don't want to go to war. I'm the first person. I got a son. I got
got
grandkids coming
grandkids?
up.
We all do.
do. We don't want them engaged in war, but we got to have peace through strength.
Yeah.
Do they push us to see just how far? What's the next device that floats over? They got another one flying somewhere else. Now they're saying during the Trump administration, those were totally undifferent kind of balloons than what they did to us on this off the coast of Florida. Off the coast. Look, I get it. We're doing the same thing. We got boats and ships and aircrafts, and we're flying them. I get that. I don't want to pre-speculate, I guess, before then. Now, I'm an old country boy, and I said we should have never let it hit. Once we knew it was coming, hey, sorry, China, you know you're invading our space. Bam, it's gone. But I don't know all the facts, so it's easy to say what I would do when I don't know all the facts. Do I second-guess anything our president does right now? You bet I do.
Sure.
I don't think he knows what day it is.
Right.
I truly don't.
No,
We'll
and
find out when he's
we've
not
said
a
that
president
on the
anymore.
show many times.
He's being operated by somebody, a puppet master somewhere, and I get it. But on the national level, we still have the greatest military mind. We still have the greatest military in the world. Even though we criticize, nobody wants to take on America. But you have the communist countries of Russia and China that are working together, that's supplying Russia.
And also, I think North Korea's in bed with them, too.
You can bet.
You
But
can bet your sweet tail on that.
watch the rising news on what happened to their leader right now is not being seen. So there's a lot going on in the world spectrum. It's still not crazy to say I pray for world peace when I go to bed at night because they're all God's children, and I try to pray for world peace because it affects my children. And they're getting older. If I'd rather go to war than my grandbabies go to war.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So when you look at the total spectrum of the world, we've got to be stronger than the other countries to bring world peace. We're God's country. I think it has to be us. There always has to be a leader. And without America being the strongest possible, we'll never have peace.
Right. I agree. Yeah, and Gordon, you hit it right there, right on the head. And I'll read a couple of comments here. First, Tom Bailey, of course, you knew he was going to get back at you, right?
Oh, yeah.
One of the players wanted money for his girlfriend and for his scholarship and all that. And then he goes into the music. Tom Bailey. David Allen Coe wrote Tennessee Whiskey.
Yep.
Of course,
Yes,
we
he
knew
did.
that.
Yep.
George Jones was the first one recorded, I believe, and you're exactly right, he did. There's different versions out there. While we're on that subject, just real quick, and I don't want to slip away from this, but you told me of a guy, and I try to find it, and I'm going to listen to it. Tell Gordon who that guy and our people is.
There's a guy named Teddy Swims. He's on YouTube. You can look at him. Got some tattoos on him, wears a bandana. But his name's Teddy Swims, and he has a version of Tennessee Whiskey, and it's amazing.
He said, now, he did say Chris Stapleton, but he said this guy right here is really close.
He's really good.
So, Teddy Swims, right?
Remember, I'll look it up later.
I'm going to have to look that up later. Jimmy Smith said, Joel done the sound at the BFF rib cook-off this past year and did a great job. Yeah, he did, by the way. Absolutely. And he got up and sang a few songs, and he did double duty and absolutely did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Byron Bagwell said we should have used China Joe as the projectile to shoot that balloon down. And Linda Jacobs says, shoot him down.
I'm with
you.
We knew it was coming. They didn't tell us. We didn't know about it until it got over Montana.
Exactly.
But
Right.
they knew it was coming. They monitored. They've admitted that they watched it. They could have made a decision then and said, let's get it before it ever gets to American soil.
Yeah, and Ned Disher Williams agrees with everything that we said. And I'll agree with you something, Tom Bailey. I love you. Sheriff loves you. We love you. I'll agree with this, but I don't think it's just him himself. He said, you were talking about the puppet master. I think Soros is behind a lot of this. I've got another name. Y'all can tell me if y'all agree or disagree. I think Obama's behind a lot of this, too. I think there's, so you're right. There's a couple of several people controlling this. I really believe. They all coming together, Linda Jacobs says. Oh, absolutely. You just heard the sheriff. China, like she said, Russia during the Cold War days, of course, Russia was our biggest threat. We never really talked about China. No. Now China has progressed as one of these rising nations.
They're the long term.
They're the long term. Yes.
They're buying up our land, our property. But it's not only in America. Our cattle industry, they're buying in Argentina and all those
Yes.
places down there that supply our needs. They're going to these other countries and buying up that supplies America with our. So we've got to be more productive on ourselves. And us as Americans, we got to step up and say, I know it's going to cost me a little more.
Right.
And I'm going to pay a little more if it's made in America. I'm going to pay a little more for the egg if it's come from
Yeah,
American
absolutely.
chicken. I'll pay a little more for my meat to come from an American farmer. We got to support our American farmer produce. Agriculture is the most vital thing because nobody survives without food.
We always say that.
So let me tell you
the
something.
farmers, man.
Without
I'm
that
about the
farmer,
farmer.
and I always think everybody wants to think about the big guy. It takes, like in Bradford County, it's the small farmers that bring the produce,
Absolutely.
and the vegetables, and those that raise the cows, that take them to market. It's not the giant guys
No.
that do it. Who makes the mass majority of that is the small family farm,
Yeah.
and that's
Big
what supplies
percentage of
America.
Small farms.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, and we got to support those people, and we're losing them.
Yes, we are.
We're losing them to, and technology. Think about the technology now. What you used to get off corn off of 1 acre, what you can get with corn off of an acre now, 3 times as much. You know how we're raising our cattle, how we're raising our hogs is so much smarter and better now through technology. So technology is a big part of what they do as well, from our pesticides to everything that we use. But Americans working together. I know we got friends that protest this, and we got friends that are. We got to somehow find a happy medium to keep our country to make it. Without America being the strongest country in the world, we'll never have world peace.
Well, you know, and you're exactly right. You hit that right on the head, Joel. And anytime you want to say something, you can step in.
Well,
but
that was something that Trump had put into effect about the farms being inheriting the farm and not having to pay such high taxes and stuff
He
like
did.
on there.
Yeah.
Inheritance tax of these people.
he was trying to give the farmers a break.
His kids. Let
Yeah,
the kids have the
exactly.
farm.
Yes.
You know, it's the same thing that we're doing now in Florida, that they'll have so many years to get rid of China. If it's China owned, they've got to get rid of the property, so they're not owning stuff this is America. No other country should be able to come over and buy. They don't let you go to their
At
country.
will. At will. That's my problem. I mean, just like you were saying, Gordon, they're doing this at will. Nobody is seeming to stop anybody from doing anything.
And if they're buying all the things that America depends on, that tells me that they got a bigger plan.
When 90% of our meds are being produced
90%.
in China.
In China.
Y'all, we got a problem. We got to bring that back. The chips. We're working on bringing the chips back. They held our cars up.
Yes.
We're bringing our chips back. Look, we may have to pay a little more. But when you do that, it increases our wages naturally without some law telling us we have to do it. To guess what? People are paying more than the minimum wage now to get employees to work. So it's a natural process without some government saying, oh, the minimum wage has got to be this. When it's competitive
Yes.
to our process,
Yes.
guess what? It takes its natural course.
Yes.
And it does that. And guess what? I may have to pay a little more, but I know, like me, I believe in buying local.
I do too.
Buy
Yeah.
local if you can. Can't
Yeah.
always, and I get that.
No.
And I try to buy local. And sometimes from the guy I may not have not like the most, but you know what?
Right.
He's paying his bills in Bradford County.
Yeah.
He pays his taxes in Bradford County. He's the guy I'm running into. You buy when I got a problem, I got a local guy I can deal with.
Right.
Whether it be buying a car, whether it be in buy whatever, if you can, because it benefits us. Well, it's the same thing with America. We got to get back to that. Saying, you know what, we lost all our manufacturers in the 70s and early, going over to cheaper place to make clothing and all those kind of things. Well, guess what, guys? We're past that now. Technology has allowed us to be just as competitive and bring those back here and pay a good salary and pay health insurance for hardworking American families and give them a living wage.
You're exactly right. And Dave, you know, he was speaking of local guys. I've got to give a shout out, and I'm going to get his commercial up here. Do you know Terry McCarthy?
Know him well.
Oh, boy. First and foremost, I'm not the richest Rodgers in the world. I'm not the richest. I don't have a lot of money. But let me tell you what. That man right there, I had a dead tree. Cottonwood, I think Shelley called it. Dead cottonwood that at some storm was going to fall over and either hit my house, hit somebody's fence. It was going to do something. It was halfway gone. It was still up there, 25, 30 feet. That man come over there and took that tree down with his crew in about 45 minutes and gave me a nominal price. Terry McCarthy, I'm giving you a shout out, brother. Thank you for the phenomenal job. Cleaned up the property, grinded the stump. It don't even look like Gordon. It was there.
I'm telling you.
And that's what we were saying about local guys, man. They treat you well. They know you. I hadn't even talked to him. Shelley was the one that seen him and talked to him, and says, you know what his first thing he said? I know David Rodgers. I know he does the show on the spot. I know he's the voice of the Tornadoes. And you get this camaraderie, and people will take care of you.
Oh, absolutely.
Terry, he was at one time the chief of.
Well,
the
he
Hilbert
retired from
Springs.
Gainesville Fire Rescue.
Yes.
Him and his daddy started the Hilburn Springs Volunteer Fire Department. I hope we get it back to production one day. He has committed his life to serving others. And
Yes.
And he's at retirement age. He didn't retire. He
No.
been doing something. I guess he always was a hobby, but he turned it into a business. And a big business. And he's full production, and he's doing a good job.
Man, he was the
I got the
nicest
same
guy.
story you got, where a couple trees threatened 2 homes, and for a phenomenal, reasonable price.
And no time is
He came and did it, didn't
He
he?
came in, brought 2 big pine trees, 100-foot tall, both of them, side by side almost. Brought those down, chewed them up.
Took it,
like-
and it looked like your yard was never touched, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And let me tell you, you know what he also told me? He said, David, you don't have the money right now? And I said, no, I got the money. He said, if you don't have it, don't worry about it. He said, just pay me when you can. How many people?
I've had
how
him go
many
by and clear
people?
trees for me, and I said, okay. He said, don't worry, when you see me, pay me.
That's it, man.
That's local love, man.
Thank you. That is local love. This is what this man's been preaching. All of y'all's been preaching all night. It's local love, man. I tell you what. I want to read some of these comments.
Speaking of local, I just thought about this. We just installed the audio and lighting for a place over in Orange Park. Nice lady by the name of Norma.
Yep.
Just moved from here from Tennessee.
Right.
And she bought the plaza right there off of 17, like you're going to Fleming Island.
Yeah.
She bought this big building in the back. You know where the Dick's Wings is over there?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's right behind Dick's Wings. There's a big plaza back there.
Yeah.
She turned it into the Spotlight Center. They haven't officially opened yet. We just finished all the lighting and audio, and she's hiring everyone local. She turned the place into like an Alhambra dinner theater.
Nice.
And it's going to be local, so it's going to be closer. And she's hiring actors and singers, and she wants everybody that she hires to be from Orange Park or the surrounding areas. She said Stark, Lake Butler, Keystone,
Right.
all around that area, mostly from Florida. She's got people that it's applied from like North Carolina, Tennessee, but she wants to do everything local.
Okay.
So if anybody's interested in doing some acting and some singing, and they're all paid contracts.
Hey, and this lady gets it.
Yeah.
She gets it,
She
man.
does.
And you probably wow. She gets it, and that's what we're talking about. Read off a couple of things. Ellen says they need to stop China from buying up all of our land. Whew, yeah, well, we definitely do. Linda says we need to put God back in our schools and everything that we do. You
absolutely.
preach that. Linda Jacobs says, yes, I do too. She thinks Obama's behind it, and Ellen agrees as well. Yes, Buy American. I want to throw this back real quick. Do y'all remember, I know you probably do. Joel, you probably should, Dave, and I know Cheryl. Do you remember when Walmart first opened?
I do.
A little bit.
Okay. And they preached
Buy American.
everything made in the USA.
Sam
Buy
Walton.
American.
Sam Walton died.
Sam Walton died. And then all of a sudden it started being processed overseas. But that's why I went to Walmart, because it said made in the USA. My underwear. I don't care. My underwear said made in the USA. I was proud to wear those. I don't care if they was my little white jockey shorts. I don't care. It said made in the USA. T-shirts made in the USA.
Was proud.
Yeah, you were proud. And then what did you just say?
She.
Sam Walton. And now the kids take over. Everybody takes over.
Profit.
It's all about profit now.
Yep.
Walt Disney World. I'll give you another example. When old man Walt died there, he's rolling in his grave right now because he didn't mean Walt Disney World to be what it is now. Yes, but not the prices that they're charging over there.
They make enough once you get there.
Yeah, and that's exactly
People
right.
spend life savings to be able to take their kids. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah. Linda says, I buy my meat and produce local. Matt says, support locally. Linda says they do it and the government's letting them. Absolutely on the bigger plan, like she says, we have to stop paying farmers not to farm. We have to stop paying farmers not to farm.
We do. There's a lot that goes
that's
on.
Byron.
They did it when I was young, milking dairy with the Crosbys down in Hawthorne. The government paid them to shut that down to keep the prices of milk up.
Yeah. Byron Bagwell says, and we've talked about this, Economics 101. Speaking, Gordon, like you were saying, he said Ronnie Harris is smiling at you
He
right
is,
now.
I'm telling you.
Yep. What kind of grade did you get in this class? I'd rather not say.
He was a wrestling coach during the time I was there. That's a little different, but A versus C too, Americanism versus communism.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. Ellen Dishwood says boycotting Disney. And Linda Jacobs says, yep, all of those are liars.
Yep.
Remember back when all we bought said made in Taiwan?
Oh yeah, it used to be Taiwan.
Yeah.
Everything on
It
it.
used to be
Yeah.
Taiwan, and then
Yeah.
somehow shifted to China.
Because they held the slave labor.
Right.
Yeah.
So much cheaper, it's
The population is so much more in China. They have to do something with all these
China
people.
sure wants Taiwan.
Sure do, don't they?
They want them.
Yeah, they want it, and I hope that they don't
There's
get
the
it.
brains, I'm telling you something there. But
Yeah.
you said we had something local, so come on, let's go local now.
Oh, yeah. So, before we shut the show down, I had a couple of questions asked to me, clearing a lot of land off the bypass. What do you know about some new businesses coming up, i.e. Publix, Wawa, and I think an Applebee's possibly?
Well, I hadn't heard Applebee's.
Okay.
I did hear across from Walmart is supposed to be the what's the chicken place? Zaxby's.
Zaxby's, okay. Zaxby's,
Zaxby's is supposed to
okay.
be looking.
Please listen, guys, if you're...
Zaxby's is supposed to be in the area looking. Wawa is looking at the intersection there at Edwards Road where the Willie's, what was that old, he did the sign shop?
Oh, yeah.
Willie had the sign shop and all. They're looking at purchasing that intersection there. These are the people that are in town. And then you got the Five Below coming. Was in a Telegraph down there where the new tool place, Harbor Freight. Going down there, and they said another business is supposed to be going in there with them. So you've got a lot of that coming. Publix has been rumored. There's people that buy property. Once they put a binder on it, then they try to lure the business with the surrounding what they have. And if you got 16, you'll see a lot of land being cleared. The old other property there used to be the old Mullins property. Talking about another RV resort. These are all speculations. Nobody's put a shovel in the dirt yet. Okay. But there are people looking. There are people looking. We need housing. If nothing else in this county, we've got to have median income housing. Not the $500,000 houses, but we need the houses that are the $250,000, $300,000 range.
Yep.
Somewhere they can get water and sewer. We got to build infrastructure. Exactly. And Bradford County and City Stark has got money, the ARPA funds, that one time we may never get again, and put toward funding some more sewer and water, because a lot of places won't come without that. Get more, the apartment complex, they said, they filled it up with, if you hadn't seen those new apartments, they're like the ones you see in Jacksonville, Gainesville. Already got another 100 people, over 100 people on a wait list.
Over there, off 16?
Over there, off 16, back in there. So those are nice.
Very nice.
And they're looking at some further development in the future. The economy's a little shaky, I think, right now for some of them. But some people that have cash, is their time to be able to negotiate, and some of the bigger businesses that come. But it's going to grow despite us. We've got the population growth. You've seen the Telegraph reported on how many new permits we had for houses, those type of things, and the area's crunching in around us, y'all.
Yeah,
we're being encroached upon. And a lot of people are coming here that don't want part of that, so they're moving into our community. But the people that work here are getting pushed out. Rentals. When you go to see a single wide trailer that's a 1978, model, and they're getting $900 to $1,100 for that. So we've got to have some meetings. So a lot of the deputies that are employed by the Bradford County, they live in Clay County in a nice 2,000 square foot home in a I don't want to say it don't have a gate up, but them subdivisions that'll be there, and they're able with their income. A deputy makes $45,000 to $50,000 a year, according to how much overtime and all the work. Their base salary is $45,000, and they're able to make a house payment. Usually most have to have a wife or something that's working,
right?
But they're able to make a living and afford that. We have no place like that for Bradford County. Right. When you call the people I know that have rentals, and they haven't had a rental available in forever, it's and then you got people that don't want to pay, and the evictions are starting to come now. Yep. And they're evicting these people out, and they got people wanting to rent them faster than they get people out.
Right.
They won't pay the rent.
Yeah. Right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Could you elaborate on the clearing of the land on 16 right there? By
That's one of the local Avery is just clearing. I think is that time to clear the timber and all.
Yeah.
But hey,
Yeah,
everything, I'm sure with Avery, everything's got a price. But that's been sitting there for some years.
Yes, it
Let me
has.
tell you, that's been the fastest, neatest timber clearing I think I've ever seen.
It is looking
But
good over
I'm
there.
telling you, if that RV resort comes on the left and if something could develop there, we need housing. Affordable housing. I'm not talking about government subsidized. We got plenty. We were the people that work for Department of Corrections, that work for the school, that work for the hospital.
Can have a nice
Well, we don't
home.
have a hospital. Our emergency room,
Right.
the doctor's offices, that they can afford to live in a moderate, sized, priced house that they can raise their family in. That's close to schools, close to everything in town. And the start with building up their infrastructure is going to have a lot to offer. That's where you see a lot building up around it.
Right.
The Zaxby's out there across from
Yep.
Walmart. They can get water and sewer. You got other things that are looking on the south end of town that it's inevitable. Truck stops are looking. I know some people that said they've had a couple of offers from different truck stop companies. They're looking to build. Now, once they buy it and they put a dirt shovel in the ground, it's a year and a half later before it's open.
Yeah.
And then we got to start collecting taxes off of it, which helps our economy, helps our growth, but it brings decent. We want living wage jobs.
Right.
We want some
Right.
manufacturing,
Where
some
people
things
can
we'll
live
bring
and
in,
make a
and,
living.
and you be able to raise your family with it.
All right. Linda said something about. Have you heard about a TJ Maxx?
That is talking about the TJ Maxx is going in where the last I heard,
Okay.
when the person that actually told me at the new parts place, the new oh Lord, Harbor Freight.
Harbor Freight.
So
Yeah.
the TJ Maxx, the Five Below, because they're wanting Dollar General to stay there, not move
Right,
out an independent store, and they're working on redoing the parking lot a piece at a time as they build across
Yep,
there.
I've seen that.
Most people don't realize that at Community State Bank and them, when I was a kid, that was a swamp.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm telling you, that old parking lot's always been a problem because they put all that clay in there, and that clay always
Shifts.
shifts, kind of deal. So it's always been a problem there for the potholes and stuff with that parking lot. I don't know how that's fixed, but that's just my speculation. As a kid growing up, it was all wooded and growing up there. But yeah, there's a lot of things coming in regards to it. So and a lot of businesses are updating and they're staying. They're not moving. The traffic flows back what it is from 16 going south and out to the bypass.
Right.
That's where the big growth is. I think Lodi with the Highlands area and all moving in
Yes.
there. I think you're going to see there. South with Waldo and them, you see what's all going on down there.
Right.
It's inevitable. It's going to come. And we got to be smart with it. We don't want just anything.
Right.
So we need to be smart with our growth because we can take on anything, but then we have to pay for it later.
Right.
We need living wage jobs. We need manufacturers. The old warehouse down there on South 301, the chamber and the business people are working on bringing something to that. And I'd be speculating on it right now, but if that comes, that's going to be great living wage jobs. So there's some things in the action there. There's a lot going on in Bradford County. And I don't know how thank goodness to see the school board and the city commission and other commissions starting to work together to make sure they're doing it in step with each other.
Right.
Instead of butting heads. I've seen a lot of starting, and I've been 36 years, I guess, doing what I'm doing, and been 20-something years as in chief and sheriff and watched to a lot of commission meetings. Seeing a lot of things starting to take place and get done, which excites me as an old Bradford County board to say,
Sure.
let's do it smartly. Here's the problem. We send our kids to school, we want them to have the best education. Then we send them off to college. What the hell they get to come home for? We lose our kids. If we send them off to school, we're sending our kids off into the world because there's nothing here. So we've got to be smart. Bring maybe more medical, bring more technology, bring whatever it is we can get our hands on. And we're starting to see people reach out trying to bring some of those to our area because we have a lot to offer with low taxes that can benefit them. And we're on a thoroughfare. We're the heartbeat of Florida.
Yes.
They can get anywhere they want to live.
Within a certain amount,
a certain amount of time. So let's be smart with it. But I'm tired of watching my friends' kids. They leave and you don't get to see them anymore because they send them off to college and the jobs are elsewhere. We got to do something to keep our.
They're in
kids
the bigger
from-
cities because they can make the wage, of course, is a lot more than what it is down here. So they stay, like you say, they go to school in Alabama or
I'm
Clemson
watching
or
people I went
whatever.
to school with that had to move away for a good job. They're retiring now.
Yes.
And now they're moving back to
Back to
Bradford County,
Bradford County.
because it's just better. Their kids get grown, their kids are gone. This
Right.
isn't a short-term fix. This is a long-term fix. Y'all, this isn't about me. It isn't about you. It isn't about some of
Right.
these people that are taking the charge to get this thing done. It's for the next generation and the generation after.
Exactly.
It starts today. I want a better community for my kids. I want a better community for my grandkids.
I agree with that.
And I want to be proud to say I'm
Agree,
from
dude.
Bradford County. That's what it's all about. And it's not going to happen overnight, but I think with us on the right mindset, one person at a time.
One person at a time. That's what
One
we
person
say.
at a time, we keep winning over. One company, we get to come here. Then we get to get the next company to come here. One person that stays here. One community leader leaves. Just because I didn't vote for somebody in the election don't mean I don't love you and I'm not going to come help you. Let's put those aside.
Look at the bigger
If
picture.
the voters run me off today, really, look, I was a young man when I started in this, and they have fed me through my adult life, to my kids, now to my grandkids. If they say it's time for a change, this job belongs to the people.
That's right.
That's right.
And
Amen.
I serve them, and that time comes for everybody. Even a loaf of bread has a shelf life.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I hope I still got a little time left on the shelf. But in reality, we all know that.
Right.
We all thought we was never going to get old, okay? But it happens, and I'm worried more now that my priorities have changed, and the things that I used to worry about now become the next generation, and I want this community to be better than when I got it.
Yes.
And I want it better for the next generations to come, for mine and yours and everybody else that gets to come.
Right. That's exactly right. Well said, brother.
How about
Go ahead.
how about this, if you don't mind me showing
Oh,
off
yeah.
a new business that is
Sure.
about ready to open up here.
Yeah. Let's look at it.
What we got? Oh, the
The
Holiday Inn
Holiday
Express.
Inn Express. That's exactly right. Going up. Good looking building there.
I don't know if the room's as good as the Gray Bar Motel.
How much the rooms are going to be?
I don't know, but we don't leave the light on for you. We turn ours
No,
off.
we
at a certain
turned
time.
start down. Yeah, you got that right. Hey, did you find that picture that I was asking you about, by
No,
the
I
way?
didn't.
Oh, my goodness. I wanted to show Byron when he was back in the medieval times. But anyway, we'll have to show that at a later date. Matt Peterson, I thought a year ago we talked about this, and maybe you was on a show. Matt Peterson said Amazon. I thought when the old CMC shut down, and before the guy,
yeah.
the brick place that's out there now, I thought Amazon was talking about wanting to buy that and using it as a rail. Yes,
A sub. So they
a
can
sub for right.
And there's a lot
Because-
to come, y'all. We offer a lot of great, and I think we putting the right people in a place to sell. We're working with our chamber, working with our county government. And I think that there was a time that nobody said, oh, no.
Right.
Where people realizing, look, either get him, be a part of it,
Right.
or it's going to outgrow you.
That's
They're going to
exactly
come to
right.
spite you, so we
Yeah.
got to do it smart. And now you got people saying, let's go out and get some businesses we want. But let's go out and offer something to this other business. It might bring 50 jobs. Well, 50 living wage jobs is important.
Yeah, it's important.
It's clean jobs. I remember they used to protest that RV resort out there, and it took them an extra year and a half setback to get that thing started. You look at it now.
Yeah. Oh, sure.
That's the best impact. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's what is brought to the county.
Uh-huh.
There's always going to be a naysayer in everything we do.
Yeah.
Somebody don't like what we do, and I get it. And I most time it's my small things, not the big things.
Right.
But you got to respect that opinion, and I get it. Those same people now are going, glad we lost. And they spent a bunch of money.
Yeah.
But they were good people. They weren't bad
Sure.
people.
No.
They had a different idea, but they thought it was going to bring something. When they get there, it didn't bring. I fought the bypass. Man, the first time I could drive to Walmart in 10 minutes, I was like, man, that's pretty nice.
That's pretty nice, isn't
But
it?
now,
Yeah.
we're right back to like we used to be. I can pull out of the courthouse great until I get to the first intersection. Certain times of the day, I'm like, well, we're right back.
Right back where we started.
And you got there to bypass, you say, where'd all that traffic come from?
Yeah, I mean, getting
You
out
get run
of
over.
McDonald's.
As I'm telling you, y'all, we're right back to being traffic jam. We live in a blessed community. I think we have people in place that are working for the future of our county. And it's not going to happen in my lifetime, probably not, but we're going to make progress.
Yeah.
We should be playing checkers instead of playing chess that we've done for the last 50 years.
Yep.
We were playing chess
Yes, we
for
were.
the move right now.
Right.
You got to be playing checkers and worry about what's down the road 10 moves from now,
Right.
two
Right.
generations from now.
You remember coming out of Orange Park headed this way on 21 when you kind of like the gas station was there. That's the last thing you
That was
see
the last thing
before
we
you
did.
come down the hill, and it was nothing. Until you got into
Now it's fixing to be 6 lane all the way.
Middleburg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about connected.
Well, you said that this place is the throughway for everything. You think about it. If Amazon or Family Dollar, anybody, whoever, wants to put a railroad depot right there, right off of Lincoln City Road, right? Lincoln City Road, yep.
Yep, Steel Road.
So, yep, there you go. think about how close we are to everything. Just like Gordon said, we're 30
Crossroads.
minutes from 10. We're 30 minutes from 10.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, you're 30
Daytona,
minutes from
Cedar
I-10.
Key,
That was always
Orlando.
called Steel Mill Road because that's where the steel plant.
Still, that's what I always called it, Steel Mill Road. I said I work off of Steel Mill Road.
Something I noticed in the shop, I've gotten a lot of people here the last couple of years that made the comment they had to get out of Jacksonville and move to Stark.
I just spoke down at a Republican event in Melrose, and I was introduced to 3 different individuals, 2 men and a lady, a young lady. They live in Bradford County that I'd never met before in my life, and that's unusual. At one event, they said, "We've heard about you. We supported you. Never met you in person." I mean, and every one of them were from. 2 of them were from Jacksonville. 1 was from Illinois.
Yep.
Moved here because of their grandkids and had to get out of Illinois. Said, "I got to take my grandkids someplace."
The kids is what
Said, "I got to get out." And he had a brother or something that lived down in the Hampton area and wanted to come. So
30 minutes from I-10, an hour from 95. An hour from 75? An hour from 75. Look, man, this is like he said, this is the perfect spot to employ. We used to have 300 out there, remember? Lester worked out there. Me and Lester talk about that all the time. We used to employ 300 at one time. There ain't no reason why there couldn't be 300 employees at that same location.
Y'all was working.
We was working
it. Good money.
Yeah, making good money.
Austin will support this, I'm pretty sure, that we're in a location where we won't see a lot of hurricanes.
Exactly.
I mean, they seem to like
hunting,
dodge
fishing,
us a little
farming.
bit too low, or
Horses, if you
too
want, there's just so much, and you're close to everything, y'all.
And I was gonna say you can make it to I-75 in Lake City if you're a Florida driver. And
Yeah.
What I like the most about Bradford County is that hometown country.
Yes,
feel.
that's what I like. That's what I like.
Walk down
Y'all,
the
it takes
street
me an hour to get a
barefoot.
gallon of milk, but I wouldn't trade it.
Yep.
My wife knows when you send me off to something, she goes, "How many people?"
How many people talk to?
I'm gonna talk.
Shelly says, "Hey, we're going to Walmart. Am I going with you?" Nope.
I hear the same thing.
Yeah.
My kids
She
are
said,
kids,
"I
and
said,
I'm not
why?
going
Why
with
ain't I going?"
I have the same problem.
Because you're going to be talking to everybody on the aisle there, and I need to get in here and get these groceries, and we need to get back home. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is, though. That's.
I just live a minute from Walmart, and is it going to take me 15 minutes to go to Walmart and back?
No, it's going to take you 35 or 45 because you're going to. Yeah, somebody's going to see you
And
and
I'm
recognize
okay
you.
with that, folks.
I'm
all right.
my son
I'll
traveling. My wife and I went out and
and
seen her son. We was going to all these little places. I go, "Do you ever just walk in there and not talk to anybody?" That's just normal. When nobody's talking to me, I start. There's like, "Who's this crazy guy talking to me?" I got to talk to somebody.
It's getting to a point, Gainesville, Jacksonville,
Yeah, you
we
just-
run into somebody that knows us.
I want to mention somebody here, and when we all know him, and I know it's tough times for everybody, and I hated that his place closed down because I'm going to tell you right now, it was some of the best barbecue I've ever had, and you know what I'm fixing to say, slice and dice
nice.
barbecue.
Yeah.
Chris Davis just said, he said, it's tough times right now for everyone, even businesses, and, I wish that
He's
I
always
think-
hustled too. That man works.
he always he hustles, he works. His lovely
good
Casey, Casey. They used to run that. I'm gonna tell you what. Some of the best barbecue. You had it too.
Oh, yeah.
Some of the best barbecue I've ever had, and he would give you portions that it was just phenomenal. I had to take
telling you.
some home. If I eat there, I have to take some home.
Every time.
And maybe one day that maybe he'll get the chance to do this again. But Gordon, I think in his case, he just couldn't get people from Stark for whatever reason to travel.
Just get outside that bubble. They could.
Bubble, yeah, and I don't know what he could. He asked me many times what he could have done better, and I just
I
don't
don't think
know
he could do
that
anything
anything better. I just think it was just the mindset that people.
And he
didn't
did
wanna-
well with the trailer, but then he was always overworked, not enough space with the trailer.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just hate it for him, but I hope that he gets a chance to do this again because he's a phenomenal cook, and he's really
And he did a lot in the
business-minded.
community. He did a lot for Lodi.
He did a lot for Lodi, and
He did
really
events and made sure we was always there. I mean, he gave a lot. He gave a lot. I don't know how he made any money because he gave every bit of it back.
he sure did, and that was one of the things.
Made that nice building. It was nice.
It was nice. With all the business coming, you wouldn't have to go out of town. Of course you wouldn't. That parking lot right there used to be the old Winn-Dixie. Absolutely.
Yep, it did.
Yeah,
They
Tom,
started.
you're exactly right. Linda Jacobs says, me to my sons and my grandchildren, Gordon, you're not going anywhere.
I'm extending my shelf life.
Yeah, that loaf of bread just became 2 loaves.
That's it. Put me in the freezer.
Put you in the freezer. Thank you, Gordon. Been a great time since you were my resource officer. That's Mr. Bagwell.
There you go. I'm telling you.
Matt Peters, I remember when his father was my resource officer, home of the Roadrunners.
Home of the Roadrunners.
You'll have to tell me that story one day.
We'll tell everything.
That's right. I got you. All right, Austin, real quick on the weather, and then I want to get everybody's Super Bowl picks, and then we're going to head out. How about that?
Yeah.
Been a great show. By the way.
Taste of spring this week. We'll have highs reach to the mid-80s by Thursday. Thunderstorms will dampen that down to around 60 on Saturday with nighttime lows in the upper 30s. If the wind does not die down, we won't have frost, but there is a possibility along and west of Highway 301. But temperatures will quickly run back up by time Valentine's Day, back to near 80. Back to you, David.
All right, thank you very much for that weather update. And before we go, I do want to mention Mitchell Gunner. He actually replied here. He said, unfortunately, guys, we may have to go through another year like 2008 pretty soon. I don't know, Gordon. What do you think? It's a possibility.
Yeah,
I see signs.
There's signs,
yeah.
and the people way smarter than me with that stuff said that there's a lot of signs. It may not be as hard as 2008,
right?
But there's got to be some leveling somewhere, y'all.
Yeah, there is. He says, Linda says, I remember in 1970, RV park in Middleburg was nothing, but would accept over there off of 17 where the day we both was in it. You know anything about that?
I don't know nothing.
No, I bet you don't. But anyway, it's been a great show. All the Spot Motorsports Media. The host, Mitchell Gunner, he does his show, Gordon, which you follow as well on Thursdays. NHRA, big-time motorsports guy.
I thought he was doing that the other day when I passed him. I thought he was practicing.
Uh-oh. Did he write anything?
How was I going to catch him? What about
you can't. Yeah, you ain't going to catch that Mopar. I can assure you that.
No need on it. I think that was Mitchell.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. So Mitchell hosts that show. He does a great, wonderful job, David. That page is through the dadgum roof.
It is growing.
It is growing. So stay tuned on the Spot Motorsports Media with Mitchell Gunner, 7 o'clock on Thursday nights. Real quick, Gordon, we're going to see each other Sunday because we got a little thing we got to go to.
That's right.
Who's your pick on the Super Bowl?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey, next year.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that.
I think Cincinnati got cheated, but hey,
right.
If I had to put my money on it, Philly.
Philly, all right. Austin, Philly or Kansas City?
I'm being mutual.
All right. Jaguars? No. All right.
They lost, David.
I'm going to say Philly.
I'm going with Philly.
You're going Philly too?
You're
going Philly? I'm going Philly as well.
If I had any money, I'd have to go on Philly.
Yeah, me too. I think Philadelphia is just too strong. That defense is way too strong.
They are mean.
And if Mahomes ain't 100%, he's going to feel that pass rush from the Philadelphia defense.
He's only 2 weeks to recover. I think he had a more serious injury.
I think he did too.
Tough guy.
Yep, I'll agree.
Telling you, it catches you.
It does. All right. Do we got an exit song? Dave, did you tell them to play an exit song? Really? All right. Well, if you'd have told me, I'd have closed it out real quick. But you was leaving me a secret. It was an ancient Chinese secret.
Okay.
All right. On behalf of our co-host tonight, Sheriff Gordon Smith, always glad to have him in the house. Yep. Mr. Austin Stevens with the weather.
Appreciate y'all.
Mr. Dave Holland producing the show. Mr. J.D. Norman, I call him Joel. Absolutely, man. Great job.
Anytime I come, you got to come.
Yeah, he's got to come too. I'd love to hear him and Byron both play.
Byron don't sing.
Yeah, there you go. He can sing 10 or 12 miles from it. 10 or 12 miles. Anyway, also, the missing Byron Bagwell.
Yeah.
I'm your host, David Rodgers. God bless. We have a song to exit out. Y'all have a great week. Super Bowl weekend. Don't forget. God bless you guys.
Night